Did you guys see, speaking of Israeli assets and Jewish assets, did you guys see that Erica Kirk thing that came up from this old EMP video she did? Oh my God. So Erica Kirk and the former CIA director did like this video together years ago when Erica Kirk was working for her mom's company that worked with the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security. And they made this thing about EMP, like she was part of the military industrial complex. That combined with the Romania stuff we talked about on our last YouTube members only show, and then her dad being with Raytheon in Tel Aviv and all this stuff, like it's getting to the point now where if you think Erica Kirk wasn't a honeypot for Charlie Kirk, you're insane. And also everyone she was dating before she met Charlie was one of those right-wing orbiter grifters, that Cabot Phillips, who was working for the Daily Wire. I mean, whoever controlled Erica Kirk, whoever Erica Kirk worked for, they wanted to use her as like their Helen of Troy to hook up with one of these young conservative influencers so they'd be in. And boy, does it make sense that when Charlie broke ranks, not only was he dead, but his wife was happy. She's taking everything over. She's raking in cash. She's got pyro like Goldberg. She's hanging out with Nicki Minaj. It's hard to believe this wasn't the plan the whole time. She is, Erica Kirk is to quote Training Day, a low-down ruthless vato, eh? Let's find that for you here so you don't think I'm just blowing smoke up your ass. This is Erica Kirk and former CIA Director James Woolsey. This was for EMP Protection Tech.
We have 5 major threats that make our grid extremely vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information.
By the way, doesn't she just seem like a just nice, decent, stay-at-home Christian mom who, oh, gee golly, oh gosh, I was kind of thrust into all this? She was more experienced in all this stuff than Charlie was when they got together.
And when we go...
Charlie was genuine. That's the difference. Charlie genuinely thought he could make a difference talking to college kids, listening to their concerns, having debates. He really thought that he was a guy who could enact change. But he took money from despicable people so that fueled his rise. Like all of these, by the way, every right-wing guy you listen to with a giant audience got backed by a billionaire to push their agenda somewhere down the road. Or if you're Tim Pool, it was the Russians.
Over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
Well, there are 18 critical infrastructures in the United States: food, water.
James Woolsey Jr., the former head of the CIA, he and Erica Kirk made this together to talk about, I believe this was her mom's company, and EMP protection. And again, the thing we're pitched about Erica Kirk was that, oh, she was just this wholesome Christian gal. No, she was a player, man. She was doing that Romanian orphanage shit. And by the way, you look into that Romanian orphanage, it was right next to a NATO U.S. military base. Look up Colonel Otto Buscher. She worked very closely with him. That base was part of a child trafficking ring. It was disgusting. And meanwhile, Erica Kirk is running one of the biggest orphanages in that area and a charity that's supposed to help orphans. And she's working hand in hand with Colonel Otto Buscher. It's too much of a coincidence. You know, you can only feel dumb for so long before you go, I got to connect the dots here.
Transportation.
And you know, you don't just start working with the former director of the CIA. Like, some of you had friends whose dads had like big office jobs, right? But they never said, oh yeah, my new client is, well, he's the former head of the CIA. You don't get that way working at 3M, I assure you. They don't go there for milkshakes, I assure you.
Communications, etc. All 17 of the others depend on electricity.
If our grid goes down, you can't cook, you're not going to heat anything.
This looks like a Command and Conquer Red Alert 2 mission update.
You can't talk on your phone. You can't take money out of a bank, and we turn into total chaos.
Is that Judge Janine, by the way? She's another one. Like, if you just look at the way these people talk, you can tell who's genuine and who's bought and paid for by the way they talk. Judge Jeanine's bought and paid for. She's scaring the shit out of you because someone told her to scare the shit out of you. Bill Ackman is the guy who pays people to scare the shit out of you. You can tell that the credit card thing worries him like crazy because he directly came down from his throne to scare the shit out of you. But usually what they do is they pay people to scare the shit out of you, like Erica Kirk.
This happens, the system stops.
If a transformer is taken down, we have to order it from Germany or China. It's going to take a year.
Up till recently, there were no comprehensive protective solutions available.
We know what the solutions are. They're not expensive. They're not difficult to employ. We just need the political will to do it and the follow through on the part of the electorate.
In other words, we spent a shitload of money developing this tech, and now we have to sell it in order to recoup our R&D. And the best way to sell this shit is to pay off politicians to vote and say, oh yeah, the Defense Department really needs this, and force the government to buy it. I mean, we got a huge military budget. Let's crack that egg open and see if we can grab some money out of it. I mean, that's the weapons industry. That's the military industrial complex. Spend an irresponsible fuckload of money developing some shit that we probably don't need, and then force it down the government's throat. They write a blank check, and our taxpayer dollars continue to go towards shit we don't need. And our budget gets bigger and bigger.
Utilities to get it done.
The White House is protected from an EMP. The Congress and the CIA and the NSA, all of the areas that need to function in the government are protected. So why can't we be protected?
Around some of these facilities, you don't have much more than a chain link fence to keep people out. Now that seems absurd to me.
I think it is absurd when we now know that.
Do you think that maybe it's because we don't have near as many threats as you guys claim we do, and that maybe we're the big global globe-trotting terrorist that's attacking and fucking with people who can't get over here? If there was this big bad boogeyman who wanted us all dead, they would have attacked the power grid by now. These people defeat their own argument. They go, look, there's only chain link fence protecting this power grid. Well, it seems to be enough. It's keeping people out. So we must not have that much of a threat. Oh, but we got to keep bombing and attacking people and buying weapons so that they stay not a threat. It's fucking insane.
Attack on as few as 9 grid substations could bring down all 3 major interconnections for the United States grid.
And if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped. It's I'm worried that you guys spend more time thinking up terrorist attacks on this country than actual terrorists do. And there's part of me that believes that if you ain't selling enough product one quarter, you might actually do something like this yourself and frame someone else for it, just so you can make money.
If the power goes out, you get the generator, and if that goes out, you get another one. There's never been a plan for what happens after that.
The director of the National Security Agency, Admiral Rogers, came out and said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, we don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud. I remember all of this shit, dude. I lived through the post 9/11 era. All right? God damn, man. It's, I don't know. She's hawking EMP. He's dead. She's lighting pyro off everywhere. Coltrane with $1 says, I really hope this becomes a reality. Well, let's see. By the way, Coltrane is now at $6. I got to move some shit around here because old Red Fox Matt is at 10. He's in first place. Red Fox Mad at 10. Coltrane in second with 6. Waylon in third at 5. Thank you guys very much. TDR Shit Show says, can't just cap the interest for credit cards, have to cap the service charge as well. I see those greedy fucks getting capped at 10%, then turning around and increasing the shit out of the service charge. That's a good point. And, they're smart. They will find a way around it if there is a way around it. That is a good point. Thank you for the $1. Joey Caravello with $5 says, play this. It better have something to do with what we're talking about. Old Joey Caravello, my friend. Much. Hey, you guys want to make fun of Mark Levin for a little while?
You little bastard, you attacked my stepson?
Of course, Mark. So Megyn Kelly and Owen Schroyer are ripping Mark Levin a new asshole for something he said about Catholics recently. Now, Megyn Kelly to me is more like establishment center right. And then Owen Schroyer, look to Owen Schroyer, by the way, because he's kind of where Alex Jones was. He's still got that hunger, that fire in the belly. He hasn't been destroyed by lawsuits and government interference and all this shit the way Alex has. I mean, if you watch Alex Jones lately and his content, it does seem like Alex has capitulated. It does seem like Alex has maybe not become full, like part of the state, but he's definitely not poking and provoking the deep state like he used to. Owen Schroyer is still out there dropping truth bombs. Mark Levin made some comments about Catholics recently that did not go over very well. And it's going to allow us to shit on and watch other people shit on Mark Levin. By the way, Mark Levin, Dan Bongino, all of these guys are just getting destroyed online. Now, that's not the be-all, end-all, and it's not a barometer for how the world feels or anything like that, but it's the battlefield they're choosing, and they're getting crushed. Dave Smith was going back and forth with Dan Bongino on Twitter this week, and it's like Dan Bongino has amnesia and doesn't realize that he's the guy who covered for a Mossad pedo, and that's his legacy, and he's acting like he's the standard bearer and the flag waver for Make America Great Again and Trump and America First, when in reality, everyone thinks this guy's a fucking turncoat who got a job in the FBI and then left us all out in the cold. You know, in 2023, it was Epstein was Mossad. Epstein, they're covering up all this stuff. If I ever get in there, we're going to get the Epstein files. They even said that in the run-up to their confirmations. And then he gets in there, and all of a sudden he goes, Epstein, I've seen all the files. He killed himself. He wasn't trafficking anybody, nothing. And it was like one of the great betrayals who, you know, if you'd been paying attention, we should have all seen it coming. I didn't see it coming. But him and Patel and Bondi, they all sold us down the river on the Epstein thing. To this day, they've only released 1 or 2% of what they have. And Dan Bongino comes back to the internet after leaving the Trump administration last week, and he acts like he's some conquering hero that everybody's going to be happy to see. And then he starts getting all the pushback, people saying he enabled Epstein, he covered it all up, he's a traitor, this and that. So then he goes on this tirade that he's actually fighting against the grifters and the black pillars, and those people are all anti-Trump, and he's truly MAGA. Dave Smith checked him on this. Dave Smith absolutely won the exchange. And Dan Bongino is joining forces with Mark Levin and these other Zionist shills against these people who are pushing back against the status quo. Let's see how it goes. We'll do Megyn Kelly first. And then we've got an Owen Schroyer clip where Owen calls Mark Levin, and I quote, a national security threat and an enemy of all white people. That shit's going to get good. Here's Megyn talking to Tucker about Mark Levin.
I love. And after that event at Turning Point, he posted a picture of that rosary. And Mark Levin chose that picture of Jack Posobiec holding his rosary to attack, calling him, what I'm trying to remember the word. It was like wacko or freak. It was something extremely pejorative and diminished.
Isn't it amazing that when a Christian holds up a rosary to a Jew, they're a freak or a weirdo or whatever? But Jews literally have an ethno-state. An ethno-state that is buttressed by the world's greatest superpower. And meanwhile, a guy on stage holding up a crucifix, oh, well, that's disgusting. Well, that guy's obviously a Christian fundamentalist. Well, that guy's obviously, he's a piece of shit. That guy's garbage. He's probably attacking my family.
You little bastard, you attacked my stepson?
But you get an ethno-state where if we criticize you at all, you get to call us the most foul names in the world. And that's the problem. That shit isn't working anymore. And they have to find a new tact.
And There's no accident that he chose that picture. If you Google this guy, you can find 10,000 pictures of him on the internet. It is not hard to find a suit and tie picture of Jack Posobiec.
It's literally all he wears. He's actually a robot. They hang him up from the ceiling by strings at night, and they power him down, and then they boot him up in the morning. And sometimes Jack Posobiec short circuits, and he says things like, maybe we should stop funding Israel, and they just unplug him and plug him back in. It's amazing what they do with this technology nowadays.
Or even Jack in a t-shirt, if you want to make him look more casual. He chose that picture. And it's no accident, Tucker, because he held that up because I genuinely think Mark Levin thinks Catholics who pray the rosary are freaks, that we are kooks.
Of course.
Dude, you don't think Jews hate Catholics? Oh my God, Megan, read a book. Jewish activists infiltrated the Catholic Church during the Second Vatican Council to get the Catholics to pick a pope who would be softer on Jews, not talk about how they killed Jesus, and would reach out to other faiths to mend fences. The Catholic Church had become too powerful in the 60s. And so they were infiltrated and they were compromised. That's why some people still point to Vatican II as their break with the Vatican Church. Also, you ask any Jewish person, goddamn, who was the former Israeli, was it prime minister or cabinet member who said that Islam is the broom of Judaism? Meaning that they like that all these Muslim immigrants are going into Christian countries and basically watering them down because they need to weaken the Catholics. They need to weaken the Christians because they're the only religion that really has confronted them throughout history. That's why they call Islam the great broom of Judaism. Jews also want to take over the Vatican. Some Jews, I shouldn't say all, Orthodox Zionist Jews, they want to take over the Vatican because they believe the hidden gospels that prove that Jesus was not divine exist inside the Vatican and that the Catholic Church is keeping them away from people. So, yeah, Mark Levin is absolutely picking clips of Christian Catholic men holding the rosary and ridiculing them because he hates them. Yes, correct.
And that's one of the reasons why he thinks we're completely fair game to attack as woke Reich, which is what he's called me and you and others, anti-Semitic.
Woke Reich, in fairness, is pretty badass. Go ahead.
Because you're anti-Semitic because you're holding up a rosary? Well, that's sick. That's absolutely disgusting. And if you take the religious discussion there, you want to go back and argue about Jesus and Jews' role around the time of Christ?
Oh boy.
Okay,
I'm here for this time period. I'm glad I'm alive in this era. Go ahead, Megan.
Let's do that. How's that going to end? About the same as the discussion.
I'll tell you how it's going to end, with all of us being called anti-Semites and being thrown into a camp. That's how it's going to work, Megan.
That people wanted to raise about black crime versus white crime ended. Glenn Lowry stood up at the time saying, that's not going to end well. Stop doing that. Stop talking about suggesting whites are committing all the crimes. You know what they're going to do soon? Is they're going to bring up some uncomfortable truths about blacks, which is eventually how that ended. Just stop, all right? Because never in my life in arguing with someone like a Mark Levin would I bring up his faith beliefs and call him a kook for them. That's just so...
I will. I'll do that. You want me to do that? I'll do it. Hire me.
So hateful and disrespectful. Never would I do such a thing. But there's a reason he chose that photo with the rosary and tried to diminish Jack Posobiec, and I would argue Catholics and Christians who also pray the rosary.
I think that he probably likes those non-denominational, the watered-down Christian churches, but they definitely don't like Catholics. She's right about that one. Hey, thank you, Eso Horny, for $27. Unbelievable.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Thank you. Eso says Dave Smith on the right side of history. Unfunny Jew, though. I mean, I've never thought that Dave was a particularly incredible stand-up, but I appreciate, his political takes and stuff like that. By the way, that's going to put Eso in first place, Red Fox Mad in second, Oh No OGs in third, Wally World in fourth, and Rob is in central booking at 25. Goodbye, Red Fox Mad, for now. For now, Red Fox Mad always bounces back, but at 21, he's going to fall out. of the top 5. Thank you very much. So now we got to go. I got to throw my thank yous out. Again, thank you very much, So Horny. We got to throw a few more thank yous out there before we continue. We are going until 11, by the way. You guys hit, and boy, did you hit that 400 mark. Veldrain with $1 says, guys, please stop sharing old clips of Aaron. He has a family. $2 from Joey Caravello says, you little bastard, you sodomized my wife and didn't let me watch. I mean, tell him when he's telling lies, I guess. Thank you very much. 100 memberships away from 500. All I'm saying is 20 more memberships, and boy, am I a happy guy. That's all. I'm not saying anything specific. Ryan the Garbage Man says, I bet you'd like Megyn Kelly to hire you, you dirty boy. I mean, she's almost old enough to be my mom. Really? I mean, hold on a minute. And we're going to go to this Owen clip in just a second. Megyn Kelly, 55. Okay, well, she would have been a very young kind of trailer trash mom if she were my mom. She would have been 16. She would have been on MTV. She would have been 16 and pregnant if she was my mom. But it's feasible. Older sister. How about that? How about older sister? Let's go to, so now Megyn Kelly kind of danced around it. And she went, I think he picked that for a reason. The rosary, Catholicism. Mark Levin wanted to attack that. You attack my religion, you bastard. Owen Schroyer is not as diplomatic as Megyn Kelly. And if this is a lot of you guys' first experience watching Owen Schroyer, he studied under the tutelage of Alex Jones and worked for InfoWars for a while. Owen does not give a fuck. Owen is a dude, man. He is a G when it comes to this stuff. And where Megyn Kelly might be going right up to the line, saying, exactly what you can say while still, keeping decorum, Owen doesn't give a shit about that. This is Owen dressed as Dexter, giving his take on the Mark Levin situation.
Hear from Mark Levin is going to be maybe the most important thing you've ever heard as far as our relation with Israel, the Zionists, and their agents operating in the United States of America.
By the way, I am kind of glad. I know some people see it as soft. I kind of like that some people have started saying Zionist, and I try to say Zionist as much as I can, because I think when you say Jews, you're kind of hitting yourself over the head with a mallet a little bit, because A, you don't mean Jews. You mean Zionists, people with a certain worldview. Like I've said before, I've hung out and, gone to dinner with like plenty of Jewish people. There's a difference between Jewish people and the Zionists that are actively sabotaging our nation. So I'm actually, I used to get mad when people would say that, but I think it's an important distinction, because you got to be careful. With Zionists, they will use any little crack or crevice against you, and they'll open it up into a chasm. You got to be very precise. They're not, one thing about Zionists, they're not stupid, and you can't underestimate them.
What you're about to hear from Mark Levin, and again, I give him credit because he's being honest. And not only is he being honest, he's telling you that this is how everybody feels. He's just the only one that's willing to say it. But I want you to listen very carefully to what Mark Levin says here, and then we'll add a little context afterwards. But when you listen to what Levin says and you understand what he just said, you'll understand the problem. And you'll understand why Mark Levin is a security threat. Listen to what Mark...
By the way, to call Mark Levin a security threat, I don't think is too strong either, because Mark Levin clearly loves another country more than he loves America. But he keeps telling America what we should do to help that other country. I mean, this guy does not give a fuck about us. I mean, Ben Shapiro also, he's in the same kind of mold as Mark Levin, where he said, A, he thinks Benjamin Netanyahu should be president, which is fucking insane. And he also said the only reason he's proud to be an American is because Israel exists. That if we didn't support Israel, he doesn't know if Israel would exist, and therefore he wouldn't feel comfortable being an American. He's like, as a Jewish person, we now have somewhere we can go. And it's like, well, that kind of sounds like being a fair weather fan, like a rat that would leave a sinking ship. I mean, the way these people talk when you pay attention to them, it's really weird and fucked up and troubling. They're not being a cute little weirdo.
Levin says in this clip,
I'm supposed to, what, shed crocodile tears for what's going to happen to these people? I'm not. Maybe I'm the only one who will voice it, but I'm not. Israel has every right to throw every damn thing it has at barbarians. And if there are innocent people, quote unquote, civilians who are killed, then maybe they ought to organize to take out the government they elected. Oh,
Jesus. Like, it's just, his whole worldview is predicated on he's part of a superior race. Again, the parallels that you can draw with modern day Israel and the mentality of Nazi Germany are striking. He feels like he's part of a superior race. I mean, just the way he talks about Gazans and Palestinians, the way he talks about them with such disdain in his voice, such disgust, that how dare he even have to deal with people like this, that he should wear gloves when he's around them and a mask maybe. And if they get caught in the crossfire, well, then fuck them. I mean, that's not something you say about someone who you consider a human being. If you consider someone a human being and an equal, you don't say, well, if they get caught in the crossfire, then maybe they should have overthrown the government. It's like, oh, so if women and children get murdered, you know, children can't vote out the government. And I'm sure a lot of women aren't allowed to vote out their government. So it's really an evil take. You have to be an evil person to believe this way.
but don't hurt the civilians. Look, we have to defend ourselves. The Israelis have to defend ourselves. The free world has to defend itself. And if there's collateral damage, well, that's too bad.
It's a monster. I mean, that's a budding war criminal. And do you like the spin they do at the end? Israel has to defend itself. The free world has to defend. You're not part of the free world to me. Like, I don't feel a kinship with you. The free world, they hate you. And when you read their texts, when you read the things they write, they only hate us because we're thrown in with you. This is not a free world problem, buddy. This is a you problem. Before you were in that area, we were fine.
now I'm gonna play a couple parts of that. So in case you missed it there. If there's collateral damage, that's too bad.
Right.
Folks, he's talking about you.
Oh.
If you have to
get that
die
part.
to protect Israel's interest, that's too bad.
Oh, see, I didn't take that away from it. I literally thought he meant Palestinians. That's an interesting idea. I bet you he'd feel that way when push came to shove, sure. Because I do think Mark Levin feels a closeness with Israel that he doesn't feel with America. And he sees America, he feels a closeness with America so long as they support Israel.
And Mark Levin is proud of that. And Mark Levin himself has exposed himself as being an anti-white bigot. He believes that white people are inherently anti-Semitic. He said as much.
Correct.
And now he's out here saying any collateral damage to protect the interest of Israel or Jewish people, so be it. Blow up the entire world by that logic. Kill every single American by that logic. As long as Israel and the Jewish interests and the Zionist interests are protected. That's Mark Levin for you right there. Do you understand why this is the biggest national security threat that our country faces right there?
I mean, I agree. Every national security threat we have stems from this national security threat. And yes, Zionists would drag America into bankruptcy to keep Israel afloat. So yeah, I don't even think that's Owen reaching that this is our biggest national security threat, because it's the first branch that all the other branches take off from.
These people run our foreign policy. These people could end us up in World War III with potentially millions of Americans dying. But as long as Mark Levin's Israeli Jewish interests are protected, then that's all good.
There was a war. Israel was attacked by Egypt and Syria back in the 70s. And they were losing. This is after Israel, a few years earlier, had done a sneak attack on Egypt's Air Force. And they shattered Egypt's Air Force. And they said they won't be able to attack us for another 10 years. Well, like 5 years later, Egypt was ready. And they launched a sneak attack against the Israelis, and Syria invaded from the north. And they were winning. And Israel went to Nixon and said, you've got to give us arms, you've got to give us aid, you've got to let us fight this back. And the Nixon administration wanted to sit it out. Israel uncapped their nukes and showed for our spy planes and our satellites to pick up their nuclear weapons that they aren't supposed to have. That's what they did, basically insinuating, fine, we'll blow the fucking thing up before we sue for peace with these animals. So in comes the United States with money and guns and tanks and bombs and planes. Save the day. They sign an armistice. They sign a peace deal. I mean, he's not wrong about that. What's that one protocol they have? Is it the Samson protocol, where it's if Israel seems like it's about to be defeated, just nuke it? Just nuke all those countries? It's wild, man. It's just a different mindset.
Mark Levin said it, not me. And he also says, I'm the only one brave enough to voice this opinion. They all feel that way. Probably Netanyahu and the rest of them. They will gladly...
Congressman Randy Fine of Florida laughs at dead Palestinian babies. People tweet at him like, what do you think of this? And he laughs at it. These people are monsters who see themselves as a superior race to those people.
Sacrifice 350 million Americans as long as Israel and Jewish interests are protected. Mark Levin is a national security threat.
Yeah.
And he says it. I want you to listen carefully to what he says here. He admits he's an Israeli. He admits he's not even American.
Yeah, he says we. We, not we America, we Israel.
Listen to this. He says it.
We have to defend ourselves. The Israelis have to defend ourselves.
The Israelis have to defend ourselves. He's not even an American.
By the way, this was the shit that got Owen in trouble at InfoWars. This is why he felt he needed to leave. He felt like Alex was kind of pushing him when he would do this kind of commentary. And in a way, I feel bad for Alex because Alex has had his fucking life suit away from him and he's been under constant pressure and legal threat. It's like, I can understand why you'd bow a little bit. But like, that doesn't mean Owen has to.
He's an Israeli. And he says anybody who gets in the way of Israel's interests is collateral damage. These psychos will blow up the entire planet, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Levin is a national security threat, and these people influence our foreign policy, and this is how they think.
This is like prime Alex Jones.
Do you understand how serious this is? Do you understand how dangerous this man is? Do you understand how dangerous this ideology is?
Quite dangerous.
Now, you can ask yourself this. Is this Mark Levin being a Jewish supremacist? Is this Mark Levin being an Israeli first agent?
Yes.
Or perhaps this is Mark Levin, a victim of trauma-based mind control, where these people are stuck. They think the Holocaust is happening 24/7, 365 days a year around the clock. So everything is the Holocaust 24/7. And Mark thinks every waking breath that he takes has to defend against the next Holocaust. And he thinks white European DNA is the biggest threat against his people to be the next Holocaust. And that's why he says any collateral damage, meaning any dead people.
Well, I mean, that's why the Jews threw open the gates to the Moors in, was it Cordoba? We got to get into all of the ICE stuff. You know, this is kind of overwhelming because so much stuff happens over one weekend with all of this Minnesota ICE stuff. So we've got clips today from where I live in St. Cloud. We've got clips from Minneapolis. We've got more information on Renee Good. We have so many. I mean, we have updates from Kristi Noem, Ilhan Omar, Jacob Fry. I mean, so many things happened over the weekend. Now, first of all, with the videos that came out that showed what this Renee Good was doing during these protests, I don't think there's any debate that she put herself in a position to be shot by federal authorities. Now, there also is a rumor that the officer involved has been disciplined. I guess, look, there's enough question of whether or not, hey, was he hit hard enough for him to take the shot? It's like, if we get to a point where we're picking these shootings apart to such a level, it's going to bog down the entire conversation, and it's probably going to lead to cops getting seriously injured by people intending to hurt them because they're worried, is this a good shot or a bad shot? I think it's a lot easier to tell people, hey, don't park your car in the middle of the street and obstruct traffic. There's a video of her fucking dancing to her car horn. She's being very arrogant about the fact that she's blocking ICE's path. She's being really fucking superior about it. And reading tweets from Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, from all these lefties going, oh, she was just innocent. At one point, the narrative was she's picking her kids up from school or dropping her kids off at school or whatever. And they're just saying stuff that's so untrue. She was only there for 30 seconds. She was turning around. Well, now they have video that shows that she parked there, she stopped there, she's taunting ICE, she's fucking dancing to her car horn. And by the way, it's another case, just like they do with all these police shootings, where the media, boy, did they select a nice cherry-picked photo of her, didn't they? You know, that photo where she's dressed in red with the shoulders bared and her hair's flowing and she's kind of like almost in a Little Mermaid glamour shot. It's not what she looked like at all. She looked like a butch with her head shaved, and she looked insane. She was crazy. She's got TikToks where she's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I mean, she's textbook, essentially. And so all of these narratives start falling apart. And the protests have now changed from Renee Good because they've realized this woman was a fucking nut. She was arrogant. She was shitty. She tried to fucking sideswipe that officer 100%. And she did. She hit him in the hip. She got him. I mean, cars are heavy. They don't have to be moving that fast to hurt you. She's dancing to her car horn. Her lesbian wife is getting out of the car, taunting ICE and filming them and everything else. I mean, this woman is so unlikable, and she is such a terrible victim. I mean, it's every time these people want to have a big protest about what the cops did, they end up, to quote American History X, having hands across America for a total piece of shit. I mean, whether it's Michael Brown, whether it's George Floyd, whether it's this Renee Good, I'm glad that it's a white person this time. It's not just black or white. It's just you guys pick really shitty victims who turn out to be really bad people who did a lot of things to make sure they ended up the way they did. And so the protests over the weekend stopped being about Renee Good. You think any of these Somalis in St. Cloud that were storming the police, you think any of them give a flying fuck about Renee Good? They don't care. So it stopped being about Renee Good, and it went back to the old, nobody's illegal. Well, I'm sorry, we're not 9. People are illegal. We should be vetting who comes into our country. And if you are fraudulent on your documents or you overstay your visa, I think that should be enough to kick you the fuck out. But the Trump administration is being a lot more liberal than I am. In fact, the Trump administration is being a lot more liberal than what we voted for. What we voted for is, by the letter of the law, are you here illegally? Get the fuck out. What the Trump administration is doing is saying, well, our billionaire friends really want to keep their meatpacking plants and they want to keep their big corporate farms. So we're going to let that go. We're going to look the other way. If you have committed a crime and you're not a citizen, you're out. That's what they're going with. And I don't know. I think you could go further than that. If you're on an expired visa, if you have fraudulent immigration papers, bye, you're out of here. So these protesters keep acting like ICE is just randomly going to houses and grabbing people out. Guys, they have the documents. They have the files on these people. There's a reason they're in Minnesota. When they look for fraudulent documents, overstayed visas, a lot of red flags pop up in Minnesota. So they come here and they extract the people that are here illegally and they start the process of deportation. They detain them and then they go to work on an immigration judge to get the orders of deportation. They follow the law. But after this Renee Good was found to be an absolute provocative piece of shit, they then switched the protest to nobody's illegal. ICE is the Gestapo. Get the Nazis out of our town. And by the way, none of this shit would be happening if Minnesota would just fucking cooperate with immigration. I mean, ideally what ICE would like to see is local authorities handle this and then call ICE and say, we got a couple for you, come get them. But instead you have sanctuary cities, and Minnesota's basically a sanctuary state, where they'll catch these people, they'll get flagged on an immigration deal, and they'll just ignore it and prosecute them for whatever crime they did here. Lenient, by the way, very lenient. So the Renee Good footage comes out, and I'm getting ahead of myself here. Hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe. The Renee Good footage comes out, and again, everybody jumped to conclusions. You know, I was getting called kind of middle of the road on Wednesday because my attitude was, look, it looks like she fucked around and she found out. It looked like she did something that could get you shot by the police, taking off in a mobile weapon, which is what they consider a vehicle. You can hurt someone, they have to neutralize you, especially if you speed off with a cop right in front of your windshield. And with her luck, it was a cop who had been dragged by somebody months before and spent nights in the hospital. So this Renee Good, they released more footage of this. And, you know, the reason that I was so touchy on this at first was because I didn't know. And I didn't want to have to say something and overcommit and have to walk it back. Because I will. I think it's important to be honest when you have an audience. The video came out. This woman was absolutely instigating ICE. She was blocking traffic. That cop was right in front of her. She made eye contact. She saw him, and she sped off in his direction and went to peel out. She even spun her wheels. She got what she had coming. So this is 3.5 minutes leading up to the shooting. Wonderful place, right? So there she goes. There's Renee Good. I believe. I could be wrong. That could be somebody else, but I think that's Renee Good. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's so fucking obnoxious. I'm so sorry. So while we're watching this, oh no, there she is. There's the Honda. Okay, so picking a kid up from school, going to see your kid, bullshit. Parked sideways in the goddamn road, purposely to impede ICE. At this point, the best you can hope for is to be detained and charged. Blocking a federal agent in their duty is a crime. So in Minnesota, what they're doing now is they're following these heavy-duty trucks and they're honking at them to warn people ICE is coming. A lot of these trucks they're honking at are like guys who own construction businesses, guys who own plumbing and electrical businesses. They're following small business owners around and honking and following them and yelling at them. It's gotten insane. So we're still honking. God damn it. Do less. Like, honestly, accomplish less than what you're doing right now. I want to shoot everybody who's honking the goddamn horn. I got to say, I commend ICE's restraint. This is enough to make you want to shoot somebody. Ironically. So there it is right there, parked in the middle. Where's our dinosaur? Oh, there's our shark, and there's our dinosaur over there. Apparently this is for like a May Day parade, like in this neighborhood. The dinosaur and the shark are in a May Day parade that they do in that area. And like in the wintertime, they'll put like a Santa hat on the shark. It's actually kind of adorable. I hear there's going to be some houses opening up. So the idea that this woman was trying to turn around or that she was just minding her own business, she was just protesting, yeah, fuck that. She was dancing to the sound of the car horn. She was being an asshole. Renee Good is a remarkably unlikable human being. She sucks. And if she would have stayed put and just taken her medicine for her protest, none of this would have happened. This shooting is 100% on Renee Good. So ICE finally just has it. I mean, apparently the officers have just had it, and they're just like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Like, you're slowing everything down. And I don't know if you've been on a city street in Minneapolis before. They're a nightmare. They're tight. Some of them, one will be a one-way, and then the next block down, it'll be a two-way street, and then the next block down, it's one-way. There's always people coming down a one-way the wrong way, and then cars are parked on each side of the road, and a two-lane road becomes a one-lane road. And I'd rather rip this tooth out of my head with my own bare hands than drive in residential Minneapolis. It's honestly... It's an area tailor-made to cause road rage. So she's letting some people go. You notice this. She's letting some people go and then parking back in the middle of the street when she thinks it's an ICE vehicle. What a cunt. See, look, now she pulls up. She let those other two cars go. Then she pulled forward because she saw this ICE vehicle. Here we go. And then that was the shooting. That was the backup that led to the shooting. So if anyone still wants to debate whether Renee Good was, in the right or in the wrong, or the officer was in the right or in the wrong, I mean, that should pretty much settle it for you. And that's just the beginning. So then everything changed. Like the whole vibe of the protests, all of it just shifted. This weekend. It went from, oh, poor Renee Good, to now it's ICE are Nazis and nobody's illegal, because enough shit came out about the Renee Good thing where they're like, let's learn from George Floyd. Let's not make this our guy. Let's not make this, let's not put all our money on Renee Good. By the way, Waylon, thank you for gifting a membership to Brenda. Oh, that one guy who wanted a membership still can't get one. The poor fella. Jesus. 16 memberships away from 400. Thank you guys very, very much. And then Waylon moving up in the world. Waylon is now at 10 for today. Thank you. All right. So then we have the protests. There were even protests in St. Cloud this weekend. There was a guy, I can't find the picture anymore. Someone on Facebook must have deleted it. But it was a rumor, and I don't know if this is true, that the owner of Bella Cucina, an Italian restaurant in St. Joe, was out there standing outside with little cardboard signs that said he loves ICE or he supports ICE or whatever. And there was a debate in all the St. Cloud community pages about how, will we ever go to this guy's restaurant again? And honestly, it looked like more people were saying, I've never been there before. I can't wait to go. I'm making a reservation now, versus the people who went, oh, this is terrible. I'm never going to go to this guy's restaurant again. In this area, if you take a stand like ICE is okay, fuck Brenda Good, your restaurant will probably do better. I mean, it will be embroiled in more controversy and you'll have to deal with more bullshit. But for the most part, you'll probably do better. This was then also our friend Natalie Copeland. Do you remember Natalie Copeland? Formerly Natalie Ringsmith, but her ex-husband was smart and got the fuck out of Dodge from that crazy broad. She's now apparently on the Sartell School Board, and she's fucking things up there. That town was supposed to be an escape from people who had it with St. Cloud. I am here to report the lefties are taking over Sartell, because they're kind of living cushy lives, and they're kind of detached from reality. If you want a based town in this area that isn't St. Cloud, go to Sauk Rapids. Sauk Rapids is your based town. Sartell sucks. St. Joe's cool. I love St. Joe, but ideologically it's iffy because you have the two universities there. I don't know. But Sartell is a shithole full of stupid people. I feel like the smart progressives are in St. Joe. The dumb ones are in Sartell. So Natalie Copeland, perfect name for her, by the way. Hey, guys, leave me. Oh, thank you, Mitchell. Mitchell just sent me a message with that guy's sign. I appreciate that. I was about to say fuck off and leave me alone, but a listener sent it to me right in the nick of time. Natalie Copeland, who ran Unite Cloud, who tried to put our show out of business numerous times, would not stop. I mean, we got the best of them so often, and then Unite Cloud failed. We're still on the air. We're still going. They're all gone. That made me so happy. In fact, that was my return to radio when Ox had me on 2 years ago to celebrate the death of Unite Cloud, and we did a couple segments together. It was a lot of fun, which, by the way, I think Ox should have me guest host for him when he's out. I love the Ox. I love Dan Oxner. I think I should guest host. We'll pull in some numbers for him. So Natalie Copeland, who's on the school board in Sartell, wrote this unhinged rant on social media, and it got shared all over. Fuck you, ICE. First of all, you can always tell when someone is too emotional or irrational to actually have a discussion on anything, is when they start it with some, and this is mostly white women. This is a white woman trick where they feel like they have to make a splash because they're not men, you know? So they have to go, I'm not the bitch to fuck with. So they go, fuck you, ICE. First of all, nobody sees that and goes, wow, this is a bad bitch. I should really step lightly. They see fuck you, ICE, and they go, oh, here's someone who's lacking in intellect and doesn't have a cogent point to make. This is just going to be a tantrum. Fuck you, ICE, for putting my child on high alert at high school. She has a forensic test today, but how can her brain think in fight, flight, or freeze mode? I don't know. Maybe if she had stronger parents who didn't teach her to be weak, she could just go to school, ignore the bullshit in the rest of the world. Maybe if she didn't have a mom that shook like a chihuahua every time Trump wins a state in the Electoral College, maybe she might be able to operate. I feel bad for her children. I really do. Because they had no shot. I hope they spend a decent amount of time with their dad. I'm rooting for those kids. But when you've got a mom who fucking makes all of this shit about her and looks for drama at every turn and then uses her fucking children as a way to make her political point, like uses that, like make an argument, okay? Make a point, debate, stand on your merit. Don't sit there and go, my kids in high school, I've been scaring the shit out of them about ICE and Trump forever. You know they get lectures at home from this chick. Oh my God. Oh, it's just so terrible. It's awful. And then their kid goes to school shaking like a chihuahua with fireworks going off because mom's scaring the fucking piss out of them. And then it becomes this self-fulfilling coping loop that she has where she goes, look, now my kid's scared at school. Look what you've done, ICE. It's the stick in the spokes meme. Natalie sits there and goes, fucking Trump is evil, kids. Trump is terrible. Sticks the spoke in her own bike wheel, falls over, and then goes, God damn you, ICE. It's you, stupid. It's always been you. Instead of laughing with her friends at lunch, she is making plans with them for everyone to start their car alarms if ICE shows up. Fucking great. Because they've all got psycho moms. They've all got psycho parents who fill their head with bullshit. Fuck you, Donald Trump, and a special fuck you to every single person who voted for him. Well, look, I would say fuck Donald Trump too, but it's more for like the constant Israel pandering and war starting. But God damn it. She can go away. Like she's honestly, I don't think there's ever been anyone more useless than Natalie Copeland. So that's what's going on here locally. Luckily, the people in that community, the majority of them think she's fucking obnoxious. A lot of people don't communicate with her simply because they're like, it's just going to be a bullshit hassle. She's just too stupid to talk to. And so they just kind of leave her be in her cave, in her loveless cave, if you will. But like, imagine scaring the shit out of your kids about the entire world because you felt like the world's being unfair to you. And now you've passed that on to your children, and now they're scared all the time. Not because of Trump, not because of the world, because of you. It's mommy dearest. It's Carrie. It's unfortunate. But don't worry, the car alarms are going to go off if ICE gets there. Yay. Atomic Ray with $1 says, how much did that ICE agent save taxpayers in Minnesota? Oh, also, there's a lot of these protesters are being paid. That's why the narrative keeps shifting. Because they're paying these protesters. One of them even said on camera, I'm getting paid $20 an hour to be here. King Kong Dong with $1 says, I took Corey to Bello Cucino there. The people had the WAP wet ass pizza. $2 from Contagious Cody says, let's not forget that Renee's car had Missouri plates. Joey Caravello with another $2 says, Natalie Copeland let Boogie shit in her mouth. That's not true, Joey Caravello. It's not even remotely true. Why would you say something like that? This is a rumor that you've started. Red Fox Mad with $5 says, I still don't understand how she got elected to the Sartell School Board. She does not fit in at the Sartell School Board and school. It's because Sartell is going left. I'm telling you. Sartell is going left. Listen to what I say, or you will pay. Oh boy, 751 of you checking out the toe right now. Let's keep that number going up. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. I appreciate you so much. And keep throwing. Oh my God, Wally World gifting 5 memberships. Thank you.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
I appreciate that, my friend. And that puts us 10 memberships away from 400. Wow. I might have to do an extra half hour today. Remember, every time we hit a $100 thing, your generosity puts us 100 members up. I give an extra half hour. It's only fair. It's only fair. So now Wally World is in second at 25. Thank you. Red Fox Mad dropping to third at 21. Coltrane in fourth. Thank you, guys. And Waylon is now in central booking at 10. Thank you, pal. Thank you. And now I got to write down Joey C. Oh, no. And now I got a pen going out, and we're on a roll, and everyone's trying to watch the toe, and I'm screwing up. Atomic Ray gifting a membership. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, enough with the gay jokes. Atomic Ray gifting a membership. Appreciate that. Now where are we at? God damn me. I'm having problems keeping up here today. Thank you, Atomic Ray, for gifting that membership. Contagious Cody got that one. All right, now let's talk about some of the official responses that we've gotten this weekend. You know, Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, I would say I'm really disappointed in them, but living here in Minnesota, I'm used to them. I mean, I think in order to be disappointed by somebody, you have to have a certain expectation of them. I just don't have that for Tim Walz and Jacob Fry. And let me tell you something. For those of you who get outraged at those two guys, having low expectations for these guys really helps you live a happier life, because you don't hear them say dumb shit and go, you guys, why are you being so stupid? Well, because they're Jacob Fry and Tim Walz. It's their brand, if you will. They're dumb. They're dumb guys. They're going to say dumb stuff. Well, Jacob Fry gets to have his face. He gets to see himself on the TV now because he's in the middle of all this shit. And I'm telling you, there's something about this part of it that a guy like Jacob Fry likes. Like, there's a lot of Marxist in him where when shit's falling apart, he's kind of happy. He's on TV. He gets the cameras. He got to go, get the fuck out of Minneapolis, ICE. Whoa! Don't mess with this guy. He's got curly hair. So then he goes on TV, and we have a chance to tell the people in Minnesota, like, hey, guys, chill out. We'll deal with this on an official level. Like, if I were governor or I were mayor, I would say, let's say I was against ICE being in the city. We appreciate all of your passion. We really do. We are working on this. I am meeting with the police department, the governor. I'm also going to meet with the ranking officer in ICE here in Minnesota, and we're going to find a way to make this all work out where this isn't so disruptive and we can kind of cool things down. Jacob Fry and Tim Walz get out there and they go, hit the streets, everybody. Don't go on the freeway, but walk the streets. Go in there, carry signs, yell, scream, honk your horns, disrupt ICE as much as you can. And then Jacob Fry going, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. I mean, all these guys are doing is they instigate the problem and then do nothing to address it or fix it. These people are governing for a 5% minority and causing nothing but problems for the 95, I would say 99% of Minneapolis that has to commute, go to work, run their businesses. I mean, they are, and Tim Walz wonders why he doesn't have the faith and confidence of the state of Minnesota. I mean, Jacob Fry is mayor of Minneapolis because they literally ran a retarded guy against him. Omar Feta, I mean, that guy wasn't playing with a full deck. Jesus Christ, the Star Tribune wanted to write an article about his candidacy and like stump for his campaign, and he just straight didn't show up for the interview. He was an idiot. He was a dumb guy. So this is Jacob Fry on national media yesterday, and you know little Trudeau is loving this, and he can't get enough of it. But God, he is such a non-leader.
In the immediacy following the shooting, you heard people from the Trump administration saying that the victim was a domestic terrorist.
Now, I will agree with them there. I'm sorry for pausing if you're new to the show. I'm working on it. I agree with him there. It's a reach to call her a domestic terrorist. It's actually really disrespectful to Ted Kaczynski. That was a domestic terrorist. Well, who was MK Ultra, and like it was our government who kind of set that up. Same as Timothy McVeigh. He was honeypotted into the Oklahoma City bombing so they could crack down on quote unquote white supremacy in the United States. But anyway, same reason why Randy Weaver's family had to die and why women and children had to be firebombed at Waco. Anyway, Jacob Fry saying the administration called her a domestic terrorist. That was too far. She doesn't measure up to domestic terrorist. What she was a fucking idiot who got in the way, didn't take shit seriously, didn't listen to commands, and got killed for her trouble, to paraphrase Ben Shapiro.
Heard that the ICE agent was acting entirely in self-defense. And here's the thing. You don't need to take my word for it. You don't need to take their word for it.
Easy, asshole. We just watched the 3.5-minute video. She was obstructing the whole time. They told her to get out of the car. She took off. I'm sorry, Jacob, but let's put you in front of a moving SUV and you don't feel like you're being attacked. Let's put you in front of an SUV where you can see the woman's eyes. She's laughing at you. She hits the gas. Her tires spin. You're in front of the vehicle. Let's see if you feel attacked or not.
Watch the video.
I have.
The ICE agent was not run over as Trump stated.
Because he fucking moved. He was going to be run over by the car. He was hit by the car. We can agree. Where I come from, you hit an officer with your car, you could get shot. Death could be the penalty for hitting it off. She did. She hit his hip with her car. Oh, she didn't run him over. Well, yeah, because he's not a dummy. He's going to get out of the way. But you also can't let someone who's obstructing and willing to hit police officers with their car, you can't let them speed off into the city and turn their vehicle into a weapon. What, are we just supposed to take it on faith that this person who has already broken multiple laws is just going to be a good boy or girl when they peel out into the street on icy roads? You out of your fucking mind?
You had...
I love this one too, and I'm really sorry. Oh, they should have shot the tires. Yeah, and then when they hit the pavement and the bullet ricochets and hits a protester in the neck, let's see the protest we're going to get for that shit. No, you don't shoot at the fucking tires. What are we, 4? I would have blocked it and then went, shut up.
A person that was definitively trying to just get out of there. They were trying to leave the scene.
Again,
that is not a person that's
video.
trying to run an ICE agent over. You have a person that is trying to protect our city, to look out for our neighbors. And by the way, there are 435,000 people throughout Minneapolis that are looking out for their neighbors right now because they understand the magnitude of this moment.
No, there are 425,000 Minnesotans who just want to go to work, who just want to have peace in their streets. And then there are 10 to 20,000 Minnesotans who can't stop being cunts. Stop acting like this is every person in Minneapolis. This is rabble-rousers, a lot of them paid to be there to cause problems.
And they understand that the endurance of our republic depends on us looking out for each other. And we're standing strong here in Minneapolis.
Here's my take, Jacob. I think a lot of us voted the way we voted in the last election because we're patriots too, and we want there to be rules to come into our country, and we want to look out for the people here. You know, I don't want to quote American History X again because it's not a good look, but I want to, what liberals always say, well, doesn't the Statue of Liberty give us you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, you're sick? It's Americans who are tired and poor and hungry and sick. So yeah, let's take care of them. Let's cut their credit card rates down to 10%. Let's make it illegal for foreign entities and large corporations to buy single-family homes. Let's work on balancing our budget and strengthening our dollar. Let's get rid of H-1B visas so Americans can get solid, good-paying careers, not just jobs. And then when we've worked out all of that, then we can start bringing in all of your friends that like to vote for you because you give them free shit. By the way, the free shit seems like that's going by the wayside too. Department of Agriculture said they're shutting down SNAP benefits to Minnesota if they suspect fraud, which, it's about goddamn time. You should have been doing that from Jump Street. So we're going to be jumping around to different parts of Minnesota here during this. By the way, thank you for the 750. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I also want to keep up with your guys' input because you're going crazy in the chat right now, and I appreciate it. $1 from somebody, too, says, okay, if that's the case, as Fry says, it's totally okay for police to run over protesters blocking the route for the police to leave then. I mean, his logic does fall apart. Like, okay, if you're a truck driver, and as a truck driver, there are people in your way on the freeway protesting something, you should be allowed to run them over. Right? No? We're not allowed? Okay. Just checking. So ICE is not just in Minneapolis. ICE is in Minneapolis. They're in Wilmer. They're in St. Cloud. If there are still protests today in St. Cloud, in fact, I should put something out on like the community Facebook pages here. I'm going to go down there and interview a few people today. I'll live stream it if we do. I'll give you guys a heads up ahead of time. Are there any ICE protests in St. Cloud today? I would like to stream some interviews. I mean, it's right. I mean, how often is the city I live in at the forefront of national events? And would I not be a lazy, dumb cunt if I was a streamer for a living and I didn't go out and get some information for you guys right there on the ground? So yes, I just put out a Facebook post. If anyone wants to let me know where any protests are, I'll head out there today. I should go to the Y and play some basketball, but I feel like I should be on alert to get out there. Hook up my old mic system. I might just use the phone. We'll see. But at any rate, I would like to get out there and interview some of these people and not be like Nick Sorter. I don't want to instigate. I don't want to upset them. I just want to find out why the hell they're there and what they're there for. But yeah, if there are any protests, please go ahead. Meow Meow must be behind in the show. He says, Aaron, I can't take this guy. Don't worry. The Jacob Fry stuff is done. The Jacob Fry stuff is done. I promise you. So they're in Minneapolis. They're in St. Cloud. They're in Wilmer. And they're probably in Mankato as well. They're in kind of all the Somali hotspots are ICE. It did not go well for some police. Now, I think these are ICE agents. They were at a place, if you live in central Minnesota, you probably know the little strip mall they're in here. It's on 33rd Avenue. And I'm very familiar with this place. It's a place basically that time forgot. And like all the local businesses that were in there went under. And it kind of became an abandoned place in an old kind of aging part of town. So what happened was a bunch of Somali refugees bought up all these storefronts or rented out all these storefronts, probably with either fraud money or welfare money. And now they all just hang out. Like that parking lot is full every day. It's these businesses must be doing amazing, right? I mean, it looks like a goddamn swap meet 24/7 at these locations. So ICE figures, hey, we've probably got some customers here. We should stop in. We could probably make a hit. And instead, the Somalis in St. Cloud, and some people are celebrating this as like, yeah, way to fight back. I mean, I kind of see this as these are people coming from a foreign country. Some of them not citizens. Some of them may be people that ICE is actually looking for, and they're attacking the United States immigration enforcement apparatus. I don't like the idea of Somalis gathering in numbers and bullying ICE agents out of doing their job. I think this is a bad look for the city of St. Cloud, and I think it's a bad look for the state of Minnesota. But of course, people like Walls and Fry will celebrate this. Let's watch the whole video. You tell me what you think. There you go. Those are just people there taking their kids to daycare. That's, yeah. No, they're just, I mean, obviously they're there to get home health care is all they're doing all fucking day. Look, it's immigration enforcement officers doing their job. I guarantee there are people there with bad documents, overstayed visas, people who aren't either legally allowed in this country or people with criminal warrants who are not here in this, who are not citizens of this country. I guarantee there were people there that ICE had a legitimate reason to be there for. But if you just gather in numbers, you gather in mass, you can push them out. I mean, I don't think this is good for Minnesota. I don't think this is good for our country. You can just come here from a third world shithole and you can start pushing our immigration enforcement officers around. I don't like it, man. And also, they've been gassed up by these blue-haired lefty white women who are fucking toxic to the core. They've been gassed up. They've been taught that they're the good guys, they're victims, and these ICE people are here to take all their kids away, which they're fucking not, unless you're all illegal. And so they feel entitled to go up and gather in numbers, intimidate and force these ICE agents. And what are the ICE agents going to do? Either they have to deploy. Notice how different ICE treats Somali agitators versus white protesters. And tell me they're not scared of this particular demographic of people. It's white protesters or even black protesters. They're on the sidewalk. They're putting their hands on ICE. Boom. Pepper ball right in the fucking face. No questions asked. Somalis, well, come on, calm down, guys. Let's try to talk about this. We're just here doing our jobs. We got some people we want to find. And how much do you want to bet those people weren't gathering in droves in that parking lot because they knew at least one person who might be someone ICE might be interested in talking to? But they get gassed up by these fucking punk-ass lefties, and all of a sudden we got chaos at the strip malls. We got chaos in the streets. All because we're trying to get people who don't belong here out of our country. It's, I mean, to me, frustrating doesn't begin to say it. Frustrating doesn't begin. Dr. Doom says, Toe, you're going to get shot today. I'm not going to get shot today. I'm going to be respectful. Red Fox Mad with $5 says Trump should be federalizing all entitlements, take them away from the states. Well, some of these entitlements are given as block grants to the states. So it is a little different. GFY Rumble says, good. I lived in Mankato years ago, and the Somalis were the worst. $2 from Cheeseburger Pie says, this weekend, something reported a false claim that there were shots fired by ICE in St. Cloud. That happens every time these agitators get involved. They accuse... Remember when... Unite Cloud during like the not Trayvon Martin, like the Michael Brown shit and all that. Might have even been after George Floyd. When they did that thing where they were like, oh yeah, cops shot two poor black kids who were protesting and just trying to make their voices heard. And then we found out the cops actually shot a guy who had he had punched a cop, he had went for his gun, he had assaulted and beat the cop, and it turns out that the cop didn't shoot the guy at all. The shot was fired from the guy. Correct me if I have this wrong, because it was years ago. The guy tried to get the officer's gun or his taser, and they were able to apprehend the guy without shooting him. So it was actually one of the most heroic cop moments ever, and Unite Cloud pitched it as some kind of racist attack. Like, that's why that Natalie Copeland, fuck her, man. She's the worst. Cheeseburger Pie with $2. Okay, we just did that one. $1 from Grand Poobah says, I work for a local armored car company, and I'm supposed to refill an ATM in that shopping center today. My boss said if it looks sketchy, just skip it. All right. I mean, I understand. I get it. It's also a good boss that you have, that he looks out for you like that. Because there are some bosses who would just be like, no, you got a fucking job to do. Do it. 9 memberships away from 400. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys so much. 752 is the number today. Oh, boy, we could have ourselves an 800 day. YouTube, Rumble, keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe, keep hitting follow. I appreciate what you're doing for us today. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the memberships. So here's another guy who decided that he and his friends were going to get Nice's way, and they were going to park in front of the ICE agents here in Minneapolis. This one's in Minneapolis. We're going back to Minneapolis now. Like I said, we're going to be jumping back and forth. But this is a guy who was in a Renee Good situation. And the cops are like, get out of the fucking car. You're blocking our way. That's enough. Now, this guy didn't hit the gas, but he also thought that cooperation was optional. Let's take a look. Oops. There goes the window. No, not Edwards. They got Snowden. Oh, they got Snowden. Son of a bitch. I liked that guy. Oh, Edward. You had a good run, buddy. Of course, they're in a Prius. I mean, it makes sense, so much of it. I love Homeboy here standing there with the Bear Mace can like he's ready to go. Give me a reason. Ooh. You hear that? That point, that stay there. That person in that car honking just shit their pants a little bit. That was effective. That was a dad voice. That guy's got kids.
We got everything? This car right here, left row. Car? This car right here, left row. There's a lot of glass everywhere.
I love that everybody gets their phones out and they're filming. They're like, yeah, what are you filming? Oh, I'm filming some guy who was being a cunt and was like blocking the road for ICE officers. And then when they told him to get out, he wouldn't. So they went and got him. Oh, so you're filming this for ICE to show that they did nothing wrong. That's good. Thank you. Again, if ICE was going around breaking people's windows and ripping people out for no reason, I would be like, these guys are awful. These are Nazis. Let's fucking, let's do something about this. But it's literally them responding to cunts who are blocking the road. Like, if this was the police in a normal traffic stop, they'd be doing the same thing if you were not cooperating and committing traffic violations.
Park it, and we're out.
Look at that. Nicely just getting... There we go. Just nicely get the fuck up.
You have no fucking right to be here. Get out of our state.
Sir, stay over there, please.
Fucking murderous,
sir,
traitorous
I'm telling you, you're not gonna like the outcome.
Get the fuck out! Get out! We will never stop following. Get the fuck out!
We all sound so reasonable. Like, honestly, guys... They are, I don't know what you've built them up as in your brain. They are literally here. They have all the files. They have all the documents on people. They know who they're looking for. Get the fuck out of the way. Let them do their job and they'll be gone. They might even be gone by now. They know who they're looking for.
Put up with us so you decide to break the law.
Thank you, guys.
We will never.
Some of the people they've arrested include murderers and rapists. They're cleaning garbage off of the street, garbage that your own police refused to report to ICE. These are people who could have been gone on their first offense, but Minnesota's a sanctuary state and we don't report it to ICE. Please tell me how your government, how Tim Walz and Jacob Frey are looking out for you. They arrest these scumbags and they don't kick them the fuck out of the country. They give them lenient sentences or they let them out on no bail and they're back out on the street. And then ICE comes to get rid of these people because red flags pop up. They go, hey, this illegal fucker committed a murder. Hey, this illegal fucker committed a rape. Like, these are big bad eggs. Let's go get them. It would be nice if they could. I mean, do you know how quiet the process is when the city cooperates with ICE? They go, hey, ICE, we just arrested a guy and we ran his stuff. And turns out he's here illegally and he's got forged documents or he's got an overstayed visa. Would you guys like to come pick him up? And ICE will go, absolutely. We'll send someone out. They make an exchange. It's done. But when you have cities like New York and Minneapolis and these others where they arrest these people, let them back out on the street, then ICE goes, you're not going to tell us where we can get these guys? They're like, no, fuck you. All right, we're coming to your city and we're going to come in mass because you guys are hostile towards us. I mean, act like we didn't kind of bring this on ourselves.
Out of our fucking state! We will never stop you!
I love this guy. He's like, all right. I like him.
Fuck you!
Bear Mace guy rules.
Get a real job.
What is he? Somebody in my chat? Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Get a real job. No. I have to beg for money in 2 hours. What do you mean get a real job? Hey, I feel attacked personally. Shame on you.
Back up!
I like Bear Mace guy. He's all right. You broke my Lincoln Park Meteora CD, sir. Patty O'Keefe. I'm sure that's a real name. I'm sure that's... Oh, yeah, my friend Patio Furniture was here protesting. Yeah. Drew says, here's a like, but I disagree with your commentary. Hey, man, that's totally fine. Thank you for the like. That's actually very generous of you. Even though you don't agree with what I'm saying. And I am being, like, pretty fascistic today. I'm going to admit, because I've fucking had it. I've lived in this state too long. I understand. If you don't live here, I can understand where you think, oh, my God, Aaron's gone crazy. And he's turned into a full-blown Nazi fascist. I get it. I do. I sound that way. But it's, dude, our state never learns any fucking lessons. It's the same paid agitators all the time. Our leaders here stoke the flames and encourage it. So I'm down with anybody who's trying to do the opposite. So I get it, Drew. And thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. And I am aware of how much of a goddamn fascist I'm coming off as, but honest to God, it's fucking insanity out there. Drew says, covered faces, unmarked vehicles, and swapping license plates. What could go wrong? The problem is these guys are covering their faces because if they show out, well, number one, it's cold out. But number two, if they show up without the face coverings on, people have been doxing them, doxing their families, doxing their addresses. And I mean, ICE agents have been shot and killed over this shit. So I mean, look, it looks, I understand the optics are not good, but I understand why they're doing it. Rostog's Broken Spirit could use a membership. Where'd that line? Oh, there was one line I wanted to get. Ablo Pacheco says, not the Meteora CD. No. And Silverwolf says, what kind of gay F word remembers the name of a Linkin Park CD? Bro, I think that CD came out when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. I mean, the Meteora CD was huge. What year did Meteora come out? 2000. Oh, that's not, no, Hybrid. Oh, shit. Hybrid Theory was the one I was thinking of. I was a sophomore in high school when Meteora came out. I'm sorry. I was, here, when did Hybrid Theory come out? October 24th, 2000. Yeah. I was in 8th grade. when Linkin Park's debut album came out. In fact, I had a friend. She was she had boobs, so I really liked her. And for the women in the audience, you never have guy friends. They're just guys who are trying to fuck you. So she thought we were like really good friends. I just thought she was really cute. And we got really close, and she was like, I just hate your music so much. And I'm like, I hate yours too. So she's like, let's swap CDs. Like, this is some this is some 2000 shit right here. She goes, let's swap CDs and let's see if we can like each other's music. So this is going to be bad, you guys. This is going to be really douchey. She gave me the Hybrid Theory CD and an Incubus CD. Blech. I gave her the Tupac All Eyes on Me album. That was my shit back then. That's what I liked. The double album All Eyes on Me. I didn't even listen to the Incubus one. I fucking hated Incubus. I still do. God, they're so gay. People who like that and Death Cab for Cutie and fucking what was that other crybaby band? Oh God, what were they? Son of a bitch. That's not their name. The Crybaby White Boys. Oh shit. Not the Fray. It's like the Fray, but it's not the Fray. What was that? Simple Plan, yes, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, God damn it. You guys are going to get this. Good Charlotte, yes, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Panic at the Disco. You guys are naming all lame-ass fucking white bands, and you're right, but it's not the one I'm thinking of. Fall Out Boy, that's the one. Fall Out Boy. Just sad white guy shit. Like Chris Rock said it perfect in The Longest Yard. What are you so depressed about? You're white. Smile. A little dignity. She ended up being a lesbian. Sorry, I fast forwarded to the end of that story. I used to go to the house that she would babysit at summer after 8th grade. We would hang out. And then after high school, she became a lesbian. I'd like to think I had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. All right. Jen Carlisle says, I just found you. Kind of like you. I've got, Jen, thank you. Hit follow, become a member, all that shit. I appreciate you. But here, I have plenty of time to alienate you and make you hate my guts. How's that sound? We'll see what we can do. Joey Caravello says, Aaron, turn her back normal again. I'm not available. Dinkelman says, you turned her gay. Wow. Yeah, but she caught the lesbian super liberal disease. So she went short haired, got fat, the whole deal. She went all the way lesbian. She went not the lesbian you guys think about doesn't exist. She's like, oh, this girl who's fucking smoking hot with giant tits and a great ass. And she just loves eating pussy, but I could also turn her that doesn't exist. They like to do flooring. They could probably hang sheetrock better than you could. It's not someone in the chat going softball lesbian. That's all there is. It's all look at Renee Good. When she turned gay, it just went off with the hair, get fat. You guys, I'm sorry, but this lesbian you're talking about only exists in your dreams. You know, in the movie King Arthur, where Clive Owen thinks that Rome is this amazing free place, but then the bishop's son, or that governor's son tells him that the Rome you believe in only exists in your dreams. That's you guys and lesbians. I'm sorry. Yes, or as Roots Calhoun more succinctly puts it, rugby dykes. Thank you. Yes. Drew says the movie with Clint Eastwood called The Mule shows how our government works with the cartels and brings the drugs, weapons, and humans across the border. Our government set up the cartels to then declare war. Well, yeah, I mean, we need to justify our military budget. Not only that, trust me, while they're distracting us with this ICE protest Somali daycare stuff here in Minnesota, they're going to pull a dirty move in Iran or another one in Venezuela again. Trust me. They're setting up for something. Chad Buzmak says, so wait, you were into a Butch Dyke? It's all adding up. Another story we can add to the lore, huh? Another story we can add to the lore. There was one girl that I was seeing in, I think it was 8th grade again. 8th grade was the first year I really started hanging out regularly with girls. And there was a girl who was really, really cute. She was a lot of fun. And my buddy Andrew had been with her. They were going out, which was basically holding hands in the hallway in school. And then she kind of came over to me afterwards, and I was into her, and something was going to happen there. But then my buddy Andrew, we were in class one day. I'll never forget. We were sitting right next to each other, and he's like, dude, she's gross. She's got MTs. I'm like, what? Yeah, she's got missile tits, dude. Don't fuck around. And I'm like, oh, missile tit. Like, none of us knew what the fuck we were talking about. We were like 13 or 14 years old. And he's like, yeah, she's got MT. She's got missile tits. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, it's fine. I didn't know anything about manipulation and bitter ex-boyfriends. And, my buddy, I shouldn't hang out with my buddy's ex-girlfriend. We were all just learning these things at the time. But him saying she's got missile tits made me go, yeah, dude, I'm staying away from that. I don't know. Middle school was very confusing times. Yeah. You know what? For this audience, telling a sloppy second story, probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. But then, my favorite, thinking back to high school, my favorite retarded guy moment would have to be when all of us thought that a guy, like when one of our friends started having sex with his girlfriend, and then people would break up, and we'd be like, oh man, did you hear so-and-so's single again? This girl's a single again? And they're like, yeah, but I wouldn't date her. She's been cashed by Jono. He wrecked it. Like this idea that if one guy had sex with this girl a lot, her vagina was just obliterated and it never went. We really in our minds, or at least we talked that way, thought that vaginas were like buttholes and they didn't have elasticity to them and they didn't snap back. If a guy was in there, it's, oh, she's wrecked, she's done. Which I guess if you think back to it now, it's kind of based. We should go for a girl who's more pure and not loose. But the way we thought the physiology of it worked is fucking retarded and funny to think back on. I remember we had a buddy, Jono, and specifically one thing we said at lunch. I remember this conversation. Hey, so-and-so broke up with Jono. Would you like her? Yeah, but she's been cashed by Jono, dude. She's wrecked. It's like, what? It's not. If that were the case, every time you hooked up with somebody in your early 20s, it would just be like curtains flapping in the breeze. It's not how it works. Main Vein with $1 says Aaron was a straight up wigger as a kid. I mean, kind of. I bet you if Roots and I sat down, we'd have a lot more in common taste-wise than a lot of people would think. So yes, it was, look, high school and middle school were very confusing times. All right, we got to get back to these protests, shall we? Thank you guys very much. 773 of you in here checking out the toe. I can't say I appreciate it enough. Let's get to the, we got three more clips from the protest. The next one is everybody's favorite. You love Ilhan Omar, right? Ilhan Omar is the best. We all think that she's just the bee's knees, this Ilhan. She fucking sucks. I hate her so much. She's so disingenuous. And there's politicians who believe in the bullshit they spew. And then there's politicians, and they're on the left and the right, where they know that the people they're talking to are easily led and stupid. And they just say shit that you can almost see the smirk on their face while they're saying it. Ilhan Omar, to me, is one of those people. The things she tells people and the things she actually wants to do are two separate things. Here she is at the protests telling people that they should take their state back and they should push back against that. This is, I mean, these are the same people who told the police after George Floyd they need to practice de-escalation. Why don't you guys ever de-escalate? You're always fanning the flames. Let's see if she's practicing what she preaches.
We are going to show all of them the door out. And we are going to make sure that these people pay for what they have done to us.
By the way, we could say the same thing about Somali fraud, but you could literally take this speech so far and you could put it in a Republican representative's hands standing outside the Leering Center, and it could be the same speech so far. And that's sad because it kind of shows how far apart we are.
I am going to leave you with this. I love this community. This community raised me as an immigrant. This community also sent me to Washington, D.C. as a refugee to represent you.
And then you said that you represent Somalia's interest first. Yeah, you're welcome.
I carry that proudly. I am not somebody people describe about the challenges you all are experiencing. I'm someone who has lived it. And what I tell you is this. What we are going through today is going to create a different kind of community for us. We are going to forge a different path forward. We are going to use every single lesson we are learning today to make sure no community gets terrorized like we are being terrorized by Trump and his Goonies ever again.
Goonies? I thought you said Coonies for a second. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Take it easy. Take it easy. I mean, again, like, I'm interested. What is this new world you're building? Is it a new world where immigration laws don't get enforced? Because I'm sorry, you guys tried that for 4 years. We rejected it. We don't want that world. Please tell me what we're supposed to do. Because here's the thing, Ilhan. We're sending agents in. They're going to get illegals out of our country. They're going to expel and they're going to deport illegal immigrants, especially criminal illegals. People who have committed crimes while they're here. Let's figure out how we can do that and not upset the apple cart as much as possible. But you don't want to have that conversation. You're wondering why this is such a tough struggle for you. And it's because your starting point is ICE doesn't do anything. If we say it's a sanctuary city, ICE can't come in here and bust illegals. I'm sorry, that's a non-starter. And you've already lost that debate. So no.
We are committed to this resistance. We are committed in
By the way, Pat McAfee grew a nice beard.
building a community. We are committed in confronting our nation as a country of immigrants and making sure that dream stays alive.
She's just not a very motivational speaker. Like, she doesn't instill like a lot of spirit, mostly because she's just saying words. The immigrant spirit is alive in the, all ICE is trying to do is get criminals off the street. That's it. You're arguing a point that's not coming at you.
Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. We all love you. Everybody said people are not going to be out in the streets in Minnesota because it is too cold. Yes, it is too cold, but our hearts are warm enough to keep us in these streets to resist for our neighbors. Thank you.
Again, I have to ask, what are we resisting? They are there to apprehend people who are here illegally. I'm having a tough time with we're here to defend our neighbors. Los Federales with $1 says, I can't stand the ICE protest streamers. Just because you have a camera doesn't make you part of the press. That's like buying running shoes, making me an Olympian. I'm a Latino. Get these spics out, putos. Jesus. That's the thing. Sometimes these immigrants can be more racist than the white people. You know, they can be like, hey, we got to get these fucking beaners out of here, boys. And I'm like, am I being punked? Like, you're trying to get me to say some shit, but you're trying to figure out how Whitey talks when you're not around. I'm not biting. I'm not biting. 9 memberships away from 400. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Continue to hit like and follow and subscribe and all of that. 750 is where we've peaked out today, right around 750. I appreciate it. Keep it up. You guys like hearing what we have to say on the ICE stuff. We've only got 2 more clips. All of this rabble-rousing and shit, by the way, all it's doing is making sure that more ICE agents come to Minnesota, because Kristi Noem said yesterday, DHS is sending hundreds more ICE agents to Minnesota. I mean, first of all, these protesters aren't crowding ICE because they know that there are no illegals here, and so they should just leave. They know that ICE is probably going to, be detaining a lot of people if they're allowed to do their job here in Minnesota. And again, this is what the majority of the country voted for. But you keep getting in the way. I mean, it's not like ICE agents or the Trump administration is going to have all of these protesters in Minnesota and they're going to go, I didn't know they'd be mad. We should probably back it off. No, he's going to send more and they're going to get this job done no matter how long it takes. So Noem said that we're sending more officers today and tomorrow, which that tomorrow would be today. They'll arrive. There will be hundreds more in order to allow our ICE and Border Patrol individuals that are working in Minneapolis to do so safely. And if anyone gets in their way, there will be consequences. Yeah, so I'm just about done with this. I can feel myself getting a little fatigued with all the ICE stuff. Also, if there are protests in St. Cloud today, I am going to head down there and get some interviews, if you will. Let's go to this one. This is the last one for a reason, because I figured I'd be getting protest fatigued by now in the show, and I am. So I had to play the most insufferable protester that we had. This is a woman who's conflicted. This is a Minnesota protester who's conflicted because she's white. Renee Good is white. She's angry about what ICE did to Renee Good, but she doesn't know if she should say anything because she's white. Ladies and gentlemen, this is when the tapeworm, the parasite, the brain worm that is DEI progressivism, this is what happens when it takes root and just turns your brains into split pea soup. Enjoy final stage progressivism.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dazed-eyed because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
And why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, where that stems from.
Look at them. They shake. They're just shaking all the time because they're constantly worried they're saying the wrong thing or saying the right thing the wrong way. They're just so nervous. You can tell every word out of this woman's mouth is a laborious process because she's terrified of saying something wrong.
I mean, part of it is being a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege.
Oh my God.
So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this.
Bro, this fucking self-immolation is what this is. This is cultural and racial self-immolation. You as a people cannot stand with this kind of an attitude because black and brown people don't give a shit about your guilt. Black and brown people don't respect your guilt. In fact, if there's one thing black and brown, if people of color, Asians, if there's one thing they respect, it's pride in who you are. It's pride in your culture. If you tell this white lady, hey man, I'm proud to be white, she'd go, you fucking supremacist, you weird. You tell a black person, Latino person, an Asian person, hey, I'm proud to be white, they'd say one of two things. They'd say, I'm proud to be Latino. Yeah, that's good. You should be proud. Or they'd say, just pass the ball, you fucking retard. We're playing basketball. Just shut up. Nobody gives a fuck about your guilt, about your skin color. That's pure self-immolation to get attention for yourself so you can get attaboys and pat on the backs from other people who hate themselves because of their skin color because they listened to the wrong people growing up. She's shaking. She cannot conduct a basic interview because she's worried about how white she is. This is a cancer.
Or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense.
No. It doesn't. It makes no sense. You sound fucking stupid. And I will say this. You said you don't know if you should be out here as a white woman. Let me help you. Go home. I think it would just be best if you go home. If you're worried about being a white woman, in fact, you should tell all of your other fellow white women, maybe it is time to just go home. This is embarrassing.
That way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
I'm a white woman. I need attention.
Well, I work like 2 miles from here. So driving by, it was like, I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop.
So you feel really guilty because all of the black and brown people who have been harmed, and you as a white woman don't know if it's a good idea for you to get involved. But, however, you were close by, so what the hell? Fuck those black and brown people who feel sensitive. Me as a white woman, I was close, so I was drawn in like a magnet. Oh, I knew somebody would tweet about it today. Professor Tie-Dye says, today on Aaron Imholt's show, I learned his taste in music was so bad he drove his high school crush into being a biscuit bumper over letting other men near her. She was so upset about her experience with me. She's like, never another man. They will never be allowed to get that close. How dare you? Jen Carlisle says, dumb shit. I'm a normie. White women have been brainwashed. She is really, I mean, that was embarrassing. That should be embarrassing for. So this Pearl Davis, who is like a giant ogre lady, squared off against our beautiful princess, straight talking Anna Kasparian in a debate. If you don't know who Pearl Davis is, she's like this angry, I think traumatized woman. I think she needs therapy badly. I think she needs to exercise some kind of childhood trauma because she's like this clickbaity, hashtag searching men's rights activist, but she's a 6'2" creepy looking lady. Women should like, and it's all like hot take, surface level bullshit. Like, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Women should be staying home. Women should just be having babies. And it's like, she does it in such a disingenuous way. Like, you can tell when some people are making a point to make an argument and really like they have a philosophy behind them. This woman's like, I want to be famous on the internet. So she's into hot take culture. I don't know why she ever does debates. She always looks bad in them because whenever you go anything further than skin deep with this Pearl Davis,
she's got nothing.
She falls apart. So she was in there with Anna Kasparian, and she was trying on her channel to clip out enough of a sizzle reel from this debate to make herself look good. It didn't work out. And then afterwards, she goes on her stream to say that, and this is never a good look after you have a debate with someone, that she was getting so frustrated, she was going to beat the shit out of Anna Kasparian. It's a debate.
You could just say you lost. I feel like that's the same thing.
Right? I've never felt like I've held my own in a debate and then went, I should have fucking DDT'd that guy. It's like, no, that's not what we're here to do.
I kicked their ass so bad in the debate. Now I feel like I should beat them physically. Like, that's not really how it works.
Nobody does that. Yeah. This is Pearl Davis. Like, this is what I mean. Like, look at her. This is fucking Jokic in a wig. It's just, and then there's nothing negative any of us are going to say about Anna. She looks like a 10. She looks fantastic.
It's the lady from that 70s show all grown up in that outfit over there.
She's our girl, Anna Kasparian.
I wasn't talking about Anna.
No, Anna's our girl. Nobody can say anything bad about her. She's fantastic. Very sensible ponytail. Whereas Pearl looks like a fuck. I don't know. Like, she just needs those big shoulder pads and she can look like an 80s clerical worker. But here we go. This is 1 minute of the debate between Anna Kasparian and Pearl Davis. Like, why this Pearl Davis even has an audience anymore, I don't know.
Are you just making things up? No. Pearl, what are you doing? Like,
okay, that when there's a debate, it's never good to have the other side go, are you just making things up? And then the other person goes silent, and then they go, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Like, it's never good when your opponent takes pity on you. You know? Right. It's like, I'll take pity on people in our chat, and it's like, it's never a good look for them. Anna Kasparian is doing the same thing to Pearl in this. No. She's just going, Pearl, what are you doing? Like, Anna Kasparian feels like she's beating up a retard. And she's just
right.
like,
She feels guilty.
yeah, she's like, why are you here? Like, why don't you bring me Andrew Tate or someone who can defend themselves? Bring me somebody who can fight back. Like, Anna Kasparian is literally starting to feel bad for kicking the shit out of Pearl Davis.
Obviously. Next question.
Dude, are we witnessing a silent crash out? Because even the moderator's staring at Pearl like, are you going to do anything?
Are you going to fight back or say something?
Yeah.
Do you speak English?
It's
that'd be a good thing.
It's the poking the horse with a stick meme. Just, hey, do something. Come on, what are we doing? Is she going to talk?
How many women die every year during childbirth?
Not many.
This country has the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country. So a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
Oops. This is bizarre.
Did someone pay her to do this and like she didn't study and now she's just like, well, I took the money.
I've never seen this in a debate. I've seen people get mad and crash out during it. I've never seen a silent crash out before. Like, this is both someone crashing out and being silent at the same time. I've never witnessed it.
We've watched Joe Biden shut down and reboot live on air. This is a new one.
That's a good point. Like, Joe Biden has even stuttered and stammered and like stumbled across the finish line of a point.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl can't even make words. I mean, Fetterman right after the stroke would probably defeat her in this debate because he was always like, the thing about taxes is good morning. And we know from George Washington that grilled cheese sandwiches, apple juice, pears, apricots. I think I'm hungry because I can't, when I want to do like Fetterman impression, all I'm thinking
You
of
just
is
go to
foods.
food.
Yeah, but healthy foods. So I think that's a plus.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Her mic isn't working.
Pearl isn't saying anything. What?
Got this, Pearl.
Dude, is she pulling an Eminem in 8 Mile? Is she choke?
Someone in the audience is cheering out like, you got this. Any minute now. It's in your hand. Put it up by your mouth and say stuff.
But like I went out today, like I saw that clip is being shared everywhere. I can't find, like that's the clip that's out there. I'm looking for more clips of this debate, and all I'm seeing is the 1 minute of, Stefan Molyneux is back on Twitter. I didn't know that. He was tweeting about it.
Yay.
I can't find any. I type in Anna Kasparian Pearl, and I got nothing. That's the only clip I have is the 1 minute where here's another one. Yep, 1 minute clip. There's another 1 minute clip. That's the only one that's circulating out there of these two. Jeez, so this happened January 10th. So this happened on Saturday, I believe. Anna challenges Pearl's views on pregnancy risks, citing high mortality rates. And yeah,
You don't think-
here, holy shit, this was part of a 7-hour and 55-minute debate. Oh, there were multiple.
Okay, I feel a little bit better now. Maybe she got tired.
Oh, there were multiple debaters. So it was like a debate card. Is that Colin Quinn? I think what we ought, I can't do a Colin Quinn. A lot
of people. Oh, never mind.
Fuck. Oh my God. I'm doing a Pearl Davis. I'm choking on a Colin Quinn impression. You have to say, and you have to defer to things. That's a Colin Quinn impression. I've seen him live a couple of times. I should be able to do it. The Indians, they saw the ships coming. They see them, they're out there. They're in the water. A lot of people think they can't see them because they're not used to seeing things that big. Like, is that really happening? I don't know. You should go talk to them because I'm not going to. I got a thing. I got an appointment. But you should go see if they're going to be okay. Offer them some corn, It's a terrible Colin. What if now I'm worried I was going to hit play and that was actually going to be Colin
Quinn.
Okay, so they had multiple like fruity looking guys debating shit. Here's an Italian mobster apparently threatening someone. Oh, Gavin McInnes was on. Jesus. Like, what was Gavin doing? Simping for Israel? That seems to be. Oh, here we go. Here's our girls.
Can you cite some actual studies that look at the statistics and back up what you say in regard to the outcomes of marriage and divorce in America?
Oh, shit. You know, I want Anna Kasparian to be our first female president.
Okay.
Why
is that?
I just want to simp really hard for Anna. I'm going to clip this out later, and I want to simp really hard for Anna Kasparian and just rage bait people.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. I love Anna Kasparian. I really do. I think she's feisty and fiery, and I love her spirit. But, yeah, I don't want her unstable ass anywhere near the halls of power. But I'm very entertained, and I love her.
But you want her to run for the gig, not get it. Just go for it.
Yes.
Percent of 109 rape cases reported to police in a Midwestern city were admitted to be false by complainants.
In one Midwestern city? And which Midwestern city was that?
You know, you can go from your ivory tower.
She's not ivory tower. She's asking you to back up your bullshit.
She's asking for facts. You said Midwestern city. You've got by the way, you have this one city like that. Yeah. That's very that's not proof of a correlation, my friend. That's just one example. And she just wants to know where the example was. Maybe she wants to avoid it or go there.
Actually, Anna, in Platinum Springs, Nebraska, there were 2 rape cases, and one of them was a chick who was mad at her ex. So you're full of shit. And by the way, here's the weirdest thing about people like Pearl. The internet has done this. It's made people so stupid. There are probably a lot of concepts and ideas that I might agree with a Pearl Davis on, but she's so fucking retarded and purposely inflammatory and just a damaged human being that the way she makes those points, I'm like, I'll be liberal on this one, thanks. Like I'll side with the liberal on this one just because of the presentation of their argument. Because if I go with the way you're presenting your argument, I sound retarded, and I don't want to sound retarded.
I don't mind if my cousin or a family member is talking to me like Pearl at say a family gathering. Like that's the level of informed you need to be for that particular setting. If you're going to come up on this stage and debate somebody else, I feel like, I don't know, maybe have a few facts at hand.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why is Pearl Davis dressed like Mrs. Doubtfire?
Because she has a huge cock, just like Robin Williams.
Oh, God. You know what? Maybe she'll end the same way as he did. I'm not saying I would like that. I'm just saying there's a chance. This was embarrassing.
I'm not in an ivory tower. I'm on this debate stage interrogating your assertions, and you've only provided an anecdote.
Right.
Because if you look at the data, which I did, of course, you'll find
you're a bad bitch.
Women are twice as likely to fall into poverty after divorce.
Right, because they can't
Alimony
stop
is
spending.
paid out in 10% of divorces.
That's the other thing. Like, I don't mean to talk as someone who's experienced in divorce. How dare I? I've only had 2.
Name one time that you've done it.
Here's the thing. Like, in most cases, alimony doesn't exist. People have this 1960s view of how divorce works. Like, Aaron, how much alimony do you pay? None. You don't pay alimony in Minnesota unless there's 2 different cases. One, the woman left the workforce to support the family and now will have to retrain. You'll have to play. And they don't call it alimony. They call it spousal support. And you'll only pay that for a certain amount of time until they're back on their feet. Usually it's 2 to 4 years. Then there would be alimony in the case of like you were married for such a long time that they've become dependent on a certain lifestyle. Like it's, and when you talk to divorce lawyers, it's usually like 20 years you can make that argument. And guess what, Johnny? I ain't never been anywhere close to 20 years.
Yeah, that is what that you moved through them fast. At least, quick in, quick out. That's consistent.
I go to Baskin Robbins. I wear out the sample spoon,
According to the Census Bureau, the average child support payment is $441 a month.
I'm getting fucked. I'm getting fucking raped.
She might want to bring up some facts like why the average child support payment is $441 a month. A lot of it's income based, and a lot of these people, I hate to say, are lower income. so they don't have as much money. There's a lot. They're both. The sad part is they're both here to argue a point, and the facts could work either way. Pearl's so bad at it. You just
she's supposed to be listening to Anna's points, and she's flipping through her papers. This is brutal. By the way, I'm having one of those moments where I'm having a great time with this, and I'm worried about the audience following me, but I also kind of don't care because I'm enjoying this a lot. Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm having a blast.
This continues.
Pearl looks like she just wants to go home.
I hate Pearl so much. So the child support thing is interesting. Another interesting point about child support real quick that I want to tell you guys that I know from experience. I feel so bad for third children because I had child support for 2, and then I had child support for 3 because during the divorce process, there was a pregnancy. Everybody knows the story. And
way to stick to your guns. Got it.
Thank you. The increase from 2 to 3, like the increase from 1 to 2 is basically double.
Okay.
You would think that the third one would be
another 50%.
Another 50, right? Yeah. Nope. It's barely anything. It's like, what do they want that third one to eat? Like just the other one's leftovers?
Look, you can human centipede it at that point. One of them's older. They're going to have to baby bird it anyhow.
Like, I'm not going to sit here. Like, I pay considerable, you know, I don't think it's unfair, but I pay considerable amounts. So I'm not trying to say like, hit me up for more, but like that third kid in the Minnesota, because there's a formula, like you don't.
It's not worth anything anymore.
In the Minnesota formula, that third one is treated like shit. Sergeant Hulka says $441 per child, maybe. No, they're just taking the average. They're taking all child support payments. It's kind of an unscientific number because what Anna's quoting isn't like taking how many kids into account. It's just all child support paid averaged out over how many child support cases there are.
Right.
So it's just a hard average. And again, I'll just say, holy fuck. I'd go on vacation every other month. All right. Anyway, back to business.
And only 60%
Right, but how
of
much are
those
they
payments
making?
get paid out.
How much?
Women do not get child custody 90% of the time, as you have asserted before. In fact, 95% of custody cases are mutually agreed upon outside of the courtroom.
That is a fact that I think a lot of men's rights activists fuck up a lot. And again, I'll just take it from my own personal experience. Most of, like everyone, we kind of get skewed by these guys who have these nightmare stories, and they do exist, of like, lawyer fucked me, wife's lawyer was a cunt, this and that.
Kevin Costner's set up, right?
Yeah. Most of these are the two parties get together, and if you have a good lawyer, they will tell you, like, if you have a lawyer with a conscience, I should say, they'll tell you, we prefer that you guys settle this without going
It's
to
better
court.
for you and the kid.
It's better for you. It's better for your family. And luckily, I have that kind of, my divorce lawyer. Again, if you ever need a divorce lawyer, Casey Kobe at Kelman Reuter, 1000%. I mean, he kicked everyone's ass. I mean, he rules. He's the man who beat Nick Rekieta in a divorce thing. But in all seriousness, his advice, and I think my first wife's representation's advice was, why don't you guys figure something out and come back to us? Like, we would really prefer you guys figure this out. It would be best for everyone involved. And we did. And we figured something out.
Well, if you're not a piece of, you can figure out with your former significant other on how both of you can spend the most time with the kid. And again, the idea for this is what's best for the kid. If you're not a piece of shit and both of you are looking at that, it's pretty easy to work on a mutual agreement.
When her and I are both able to be with the children, every moment of free time I have with them, which is wonderful. I love that. When they all hit school age, it becomes difficult for both parents because neither of you really get to see them
a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I
with
mean
kids.
they're at school,
and then
for
they're
what,
doing
6, 7
shit when they're not in school.
Yeah, exactly. So weekends are fucking sacrosanct. Those are amazing. But you know, a couple days during the week and then a couple days during the weekend. Those 50-50 splits are really, really nice. I recommend them if you can get them. But, you know, I feel bad because so many people, like, both parents work the same hours. So, like, you have a 9-to-5 job, you have kids going to school. There's so little time for the two parents to split.
Right?
You know?
It's almost like the whole system works better if one of the parents has the time to really focus on the kids and one of them has the time to really focus on bringing in the dough.
You know what?
Kind of like swap when they have their spare time.
You know what the best thing is? Honestly, I'll tell you what the best thing is. Don't be a fuck up in your marriages and, you know, have two parents for your children in the same home. That would probably be best. I've always told people, use me as a great example of what not to do.
Learn from me.
Learn from me.
Women get full custody 40% of the time. Men do get full custody 20% of the time. And 40% of the time, it's shared custody, which I think is the ideal situation, assuming that neither spouse is abusive.
And Pearl, excuse me, before you...
Pearl is having a hard fucking... she's flipping through note. This isn't good. Like, if you just go... I'll quote these clavicular fans who want everyone mogging everybody. If you just want to go by pure looks on this one, Anna just standing there at the podium having her shit together versus Pearl literally. You never want to be in a debate with someone in front of a live audience and flipping.
And you've got to flip through your notes while they just sit there and tell you stuff. I mean, it kind of looks like you don't know what you're talking about, and they do.
Right. You look like the My Cousin Vinny. You look like the stuttering lawyer. You know, like Pearl ought to be going, ladies and gentlemen of the giraffe.
Spawn, if you could take your microphone out and hold it, it would be easier to hear you.
Because you're a giant. Like the moderator's like, look, Shaq, we need you to fucking hold that thing up to your mouth, all right? Put that mic up to your cock barker there, and let's get going. Now, I feel like he's fucking with her because she clearly needs both hands to flip through her papers.
He kind of is fucking with her, but he has a point because Anna Kasparian's mic comes right up to where you want it to be. Hers only comes up to just under her tit level. So, like, they should have gotten an extension. Did they make one big enough for that Jolly Green Giant over there?
Well, here's the deal. She used to be a cartoon voice actor, but she lost her job when she refused to voice a cartoon character who smoked. But then she took on a nanny job where she had to dress. She lives in San Francisco. It's
okay.
But then she got a job at a public access TV station doing a children's show with a puppet monkey.
I think I heard a story about her. Yeah, isn't like her cousin or her uncle like a special effects like prop guy?
Yeah, makeup guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so you know about this story. Great.
Yeah.
Be funny if she brought the mic up to her mouth and went, "Hello, dear."
Hello. Alimony and medical care and dental are not covered by that, so a lot of times it does go above 50%. Again,
what?
You can go through the facts, the data, and the statistics and manipulate them any way that you want.
Isn't that
So
like
we
how?
shouldn't believe you?
Wait, isn't that how you became famous?
Right. You can go through the facts and the data and the statistics and manipulate them any way you want. And as a debate, I'm about to give you some more facts and statistics that speak to my point. But don't worry, I didn't manipulate them.
If
like
we
my
could
opponent.
find a way to reproduce Pearl Davis and Chrissy Mayer's genes, we'd have a Triple Crown winner, dude.
Dude, she's got enough flop sweat to like saturate the Sahara
But
for 100
dude,
years.
think of it. Her thoroughbred, like long legs and Chrissy's stout, like the horse features, we would be winning the Preakness, the Belmont, the Kentucky Derby. If we could put Pearl and Chrissy together, fuck Seattle Slew. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is my son, Wilbur. He picked his own name because when he came out, he said, "Oh, Wilbur."
Not
But there
manipulation.
are
Those are the
1.6
stats.
million. There are 1.6 million men in this country. Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
It's lower.
Really? What is it?
It's lower.
Dude, honestly, that felt like you were making a little kid give a book report at school for a book he didn't read.
Right?
What's the number for women? Lower.
Lower. It's whichever one isn't as good.
Right. It's men are. yeah, men blow their heads off after divorces because sometimes men don't want to get divorced and we're fucking pussies when it comes to handling breakups. Sorry.
Some men love to get divorced because otherwise them cigarettes and milk be a calling. Like, so.
Well, by the way, if I may, how is that a woman problem? This is what I don't get about people like Pearl Davis. Like, men are supposed to be strong and tough and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got divorced. It sucks. Go to therapy. Figure some shit out. Don't raw dog the fucking depression and figure your shit out. Men, where are your fucking balls? We need a little Vito Corleone.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
But Pearl Davis wants to go, men get sad and kill themselves after they get divorced. Why are women so evil? It's like, they're not. If women were murdering men after divorce, then I would say, yeah, these bitches got problems. We got to do
There's a
something
better
about
way,
this.
guys.
Yeah.
Go meet a younger chick who introduces you to new stuff and see where life brings
But
you.
I would not recommend that at all there, Johnny. I would actually say that that's a terrible idea, and you should find someone age appropriate who has similar experiences and that you can share lives together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that then.
Comparative analysis is real difficult for you, isn't it?
Whoa. She's being humiliated.
Go ahead, Pearl.
What's your next question?
Anna Kasparian just punched the target
You
chick,
have-
metaphorically speaking.
Oh my God. Like right now, Anna Kasparian is Little Mac and like just super punching Piston Honda, just jumping up and boom, right hands, just landing.
Asserted that men shouldn't get married, that instead they should shack
didn't say
up.
that.
You did say that with
did
Trent
not say
Horn.
that.
Word for word, you said it makes more sense for them to shack up, live with a girlfriend instead of getting married. Do you think the advice that
Right,
you give to
right.
men is the type of advice that will fulfill their lives? Because I'll tell you one thing, the best part of my life is my husband. I love my husband.
Aw.
He's my rock.
This fucking sucks. She can't get divorced now.
Right?
You know? Take it from me. You look like a fucking asshole when you fucking express how much you love your spouse or whatever, and then you get divorced. You look like a cunt. So, Anna, I need you and your husband to make it.
He's my foundation. And no, my husband is number one. I love my career, but you know what my career did? When I met my husband, my career was already established. He, on the other hand, was couch surfing. He was in debt
Well,
and
come
didn't
on.
know what he wanted to do with his life.
Don't shit on the guy. I mean, come on, Anna.
She's I'm just saying before the Jews, America wouldn't have existed. She's pulling a whole like I made him great again thing.
Anna's like Anna pegs her husband, I think, is what we're learning in this debate. If she wants to, she doesn't have to.
If the scenario she's painting is true, then I'm going to say I don't know that I would pay that debt, but I can understand why somebody would.
Whereas, so when Anna met her husband, he was couch surfing. Which after Pearl met Hannah, she will be couch surfing. It's totally different.
I married him anyway. You want to know why? Because I had the economic freedom to marry for love, not for some Chad to take care of me.
How tall is he?
Oh God, shut the fuck up, you infant. How tall is he? Who cares?
Don't play that game, lady, because you're going to be single for a very, very long time.
He's got, you know what, Pearl? He's 5'2" and he's got a cock like a shop vac hose. How do you like that? He looks like Hornswoggle, but he's got a cock like Johnny Sins. Shut the fuck up, Pearl. Nobody was talking to you.
Oh, he's 6'1", about your height.
Get him. Oh, boom. Anna Kasparian with another right hand, and Davis is on wobbly legs. If I may quote Jim Lampley, stop it, Frank. You can stop it anytime. Davis is out on her feet. Oh.
Somebody call the fire department because this lady's getting burned so bad there's going to be secondary victims if we don't put it
My
out.
God, she's going to look like Spawn by the time this is over. Holy shit. After this, Pearl's going to be flipping coins to decide what people's fates are. She's getting burned so badly.
None. I don't want kids.
Let's not do shouting questions from there, please. Allow these two.
Yeah, why don't you, hey, look, I don't want you to, let's talk to each other, not over each other. You know what I mean? Come on. Hey, Gabagool.
Let's not do shouting questions and improv. I don't know if you could tell this, but little Miss Blue over here did not actually prepare. She cannot handle random questions.
Big girl Blue, she needed the money. Hey, come on, let's do a debate. Pasta Fazool. Hey, Anna Kasparian, last question of the debate. You've beat this woman up and kneecapped her so bad. I want to know if you'd like to join the Bonanno family. Your response.
Each other.
Okay, what's your question?
I mean, you don't really
Why are you gay?
have much to answer, so I don't know what else to ask you. Do you think you're helping men by discouraging them from entering fulfilling marriages?
What happens to men if they don't pay child support?
Answer the fucking question. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
The Almighty says, don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Christ almighty, this woman's intolerable.
I mean,
what happens?
Remember the kid hanging out the window in Black Sheep with the fire extinguisher who shoves it up David Spade's ass?
Uh-huh.
Pearl Davis looks like him.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
What happens, Anna?
How many men do you think get
What
arrested?
happens to
I don't know
men
what the
when they
number
don't
is, but the idea
I'm sorry, Pearl, but if you sign a piece of paper in a court of law that says I will do something and then you don't do it, yes, you get arrested.
You can get arrested.
If you
Called
don't,
breaking the law.
if you make an agreement to support your children and then you don't, you're a fucking deadbeat and you go to jail. You have kids. You beg, borrow, and steal to make the money to support them. That's how it fucking goes. Oh shit. Oh no.
Speaking of which, Venmo, PayPal.
I just panicked. I thought it was like the beginning of the month, and I'm like, shit, did I pay? Their debate triggered me like clockwork. On the 30th or the 31st, I make that payment. Like I schedule it for the 1st or whatever, and I'm like, okay, got it done. I thought today for some reason it was the end of the month. I'm like, oh shit, did I fucking pay? I should do that today. I get scatterbrained.
there's like a huge number of men getting arrested.
Pearl Davis fucked up this debate so bad, she made me thought I didn't pay my child support.
For not doing what they're supposed to do
15%
and take care of their children. It's not a huge issue.
What happens to men when they don't
really
pay child support?
Only 60% of child support payments get paid out.
You got to allow her to interrogate you, not them. You got to stop yelling questions at her.
You can minimize.
You got to stop yelling questions at her. She can't handle it.
Yeah, it's not like she's going to answer them.
But I don't think you understand how privileged of a position you're in.
In what way?
Is the conservative pulling the white privilege card? Oh, you know you're dusted. Oh, no. Anna, don't shiv, Rob.
How am I privileged?
Men are the ones that are on the hook for child support. Men are the ones that are on the hook for alimony.
Right.
It's easy for you to tell men to just take the risk when you're not in that position.
So are you asserting that men shouldn't pay child support following a divorce? Do you believe that women should be financially responsible 100% after divorce?
Feminists wanted to be equal. So I say be equal. If you guys want equality, 50-50 custody, no child support, no alimony, no special privileges.
And and you know what? If the government wants to pass that law, I'll tell you this, even Republicans wouldn't vote for that.
Right.
Even Republicans would be like, well, no, I mean, men make more money. You know, men do better. Typically, they're the bread. And also, if you don't, here's what Pearl doesn't understand. Because again, lived experience means a lot, and she has none. Because she lives in a swamp in a hut with a donkey. If a woman makes more than a man, she does pay.
It just doesn't very much happen.
It doesn't happen very often. And when it does happen, it's so negligible that everything ends up being 50-50, essentially.
Alimony is paid out in 10%
It doesn't
of
matter if
divorces.
you're part of
It
the
does matter.
10%.
It does matter because you make it seem like
It does matter because in order for alimony to be paid, the woman had to have left the workforce, agreed with her husband that she would leave the workforce to take care of the home. In those cases, she is going to need money to retrain herself for the workforce. That is fair. Or she was with him for 20 or 30 years and they developed so many mutual assets that you can't distinguish between what's his and what's hers.
part of the 10%.
All I'm saying is if you guys just got married, maybe don't just start popping out kids if you're not sure it's going to work. This weird, like, oh, so you shouldn't meet someone, have a fulfilling relationship, and have kids. Like, well, no, if you think you're going to get divorced, I feel like maybe you shouldn't. But if it happens.
Look, some of us can't handle radio fame right away, okay? Shut the fuck up.
When it's
the tender
only
years
10%.
doctrine
is a sexist law against men. That's sexist.
How is it sexist if a
have you
woman
guys-
decided
it assumes-
to
it
forego a
assumes
career,
that-
decided to be a stay-at-home mother, and the marriage doesn't work out, she has no job, she has no income, so you think it's unfair to get support from her ex-husband so she can raise the kids, so she can pay?
60% of kids under 5 have daycare. Daycare is an option now. You wanted to be men.
Do you know how much daycare
you
costs?
You wanted.
Yeah, daycare is fucking expensive. And if even if you're divorced, that daycare is watching your kids. And also, you don't need daycare if the dad can take them. If the dad can't take them, guess what? He needs daycare too. Like, you both need daycare. You should be at least splitting that.
I'm starting to just get a little weirded out because forgive me if I'm wrong, but aren't both these bitches not with child?
Neither of them have kids. That's the you're
like,
right.
No
That's the
offense,
weirdest
like
thing.
you guys have a very, very limited scope of knowing anything about what you're talking about. In the case of daycare, that stuff is murder. It's one reason I'm so pissed about what's going on in Minnesota. Prices are bad enough without half of them being fake.
I think that, like, Pearl Davis is so bad at this. I think she might be a plant to make conservatives look like
conservatives look bad.
Because, like, I'm 1,000% on Anna's side. Like, I'm moving to the left the more I watch Pearl Davis because I don't want to be associated with her.
Look, I don't agree with everything that lady's saying. I can't side with you.
Right. I can't be with the other lady. She's fucking insane. I can't do it. All right. I got to go catch up with the chat and everything here. Let's take a look. Oh my God. $1 from Silverwolf says, guys, you all should donate to sending Johnny to live in Canada for one simple reason. MAID program. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. You're all beautiful and wonderful people. That's a lie. Silverwolf is cool. Why did we go MAID program on the bit?
I mean, the MAID program is thirsty for me.
Well, I mean, that's an insatiable beast. If
I'd sign on a line, they'd import me.
Bong Time says, has this guy been to the protest in Minneapolis or is he just talking out of his asshole? I literally went and live covered the protests in St. Cloud. Thank you very much. $2 from Joey Caravello says, factually, Colin Quinn and Jim Norton went to tranny escorts together. Fact. Well, I mean, friends do fun things together. What do you want? Veldrain with $1 says, I loved Just Pearly Things in the Addams Family. All she did was grunt and carry luggage. No, that was Lurch. That was totally different. Although
she was the one with the long hair. She's grown since then.
I will say this. She was great as the judge in My Cousin Vinny. Did you say Utes? I apologize to Fred Gwynn. He didn't deserve that. Rest in peace, Fred. You're the man. I've got more here. Here we go. $1 from Hulkamasha Baby says, Anna could get divorced if he cheated. You did the extra fucking, so that's why you looked like an asshole. Am I debating that? I thought that's what all my jokes were.
But you were saying that, like, Anna was on a precarious perch because she said that, you know, her husband is her rock and a big part of her world and her marriage is like number one to her. And you said when you say that, it means it has to work.
Yeah.
So he was pointing out that she wouldn't be a piece of shit if it doesn't work because her husband turns out to be a piece of shit. Like, there is a redeeming way out where she is both single and still not a liar.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You know what? I got confused that my first marriage would have worked, but they told me I had to be a rock. And I was like, well, a Rolling Stone is a rock.
As soon as they said I had to be a rock, I jumped in front of somebody and said, can you smell?
You know, I was like, jabroni beaten, pie eaten, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know that you couldn't be that kind of a rock.
You can't do that.
By the way, rock to Rolling Stone, turn of phrase. I am so undervalued and I am so underappreciated in my time. The world will come to respect and appreciate me at some point. Guys, we're making two things on today's show. Jack and shit.
Oh no.
Rumble. I just went to Cockily, check my phone, for the different contributions that were coming in. And I'm like, all right, we had the great protest coverage yesterday, killing it, crushing it, knocking it out. Let's see how much they were, nothing.
Oh shit.
Nothing. So how about some gifted memberships? How about some Rumble rants and everything else? Please tell me we're in the 600s. 630. Oh, we're way down on Rumble today. We're down on YouTube too, but we're like 100 down on Rumble. We're only like 40, 50 down on YouTube, but we're like 100 down on Rumble. Oh, boy, that's brutal, guys. It's brutal. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. We need your guys' help on today's program. So we have one more quick clip. I hate this part of the show. I really do hate this when I get on something. It's really good. It's fucking classic. It's fantastic. I'm into it. You're into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people aren't. I hate that. That's really demoralizing. I hate that part of the show. You're right. I should be used to it after 20 years. It comes in waves. It's up,
right.
It's down, it's up. You never stay up and you never stay down. But like after yesterday and then after that segment, I was like, there is no down anymore. It's down. This was Pearl's response to the debate. First of all, before we play this 38-second clip with no interruption, here's the visual.
Oh, no. Oh. That's the lady who got dumped by her friends that night, and the guy she was going after told her he thought she was a lesbian. That lady is hurting.
Doesn't that just look like Simon and Garfunkel should be playing? I mean, that's a brutal look right there. This is Pearl Davis's response to the Anna Kasparian thing. We're both going to shut up and just play this whole thing and respond after.
I thought about it. I'm like,
she's crying.
You can talk like this to men, but I'm bigger than you. I could body you. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. I know, but I have this fear in me of the police. I never want to get in trouble in that way. But I'm getting older, and have you noticed the older you get, I'm like, do you know what? I could catch a charge.
It's not. May I say, Pearl? It's not fun. It's not. I would. So she got beaten so bad that she's now saying I could have beat the shit out of her. It's like, yeah, you could have, I guess, but you'd still be a hack.
And by the way, that's not really a good sign of, hey, I won that debate or I'm proud of my performance, where it's like, she kept talking. She just realized I'm a chick too. I could punch her.
Hey, we were having a debate and she kept making all these points. And I thought, instead of flipping through my papers and trying to, make a go of it, I could just run over there and start beating her senseless. It's like, first of all, Anna's feisty. And I feel like she does two things. She uses nails and she pulls hair. So you can underestimate, but Pearl is very lanky and she's probably got terrible balance and not a lot of agility. Whereas Anna, you can see she's lower to the ground. She probably moves better. She's quicker. She looks more agile. What would have made that even worse for Pearl is if she did go over there and try to start some shit and Anna double legged her and took her back. It could have gotten worse. She just.
Well, let me ask you a question. As someone who's done boxing and stuff like that, who do you think would be more likely, just for their own personal choices, to get into self-defense classes? The big, tall, lanky person or the little, tiny person?
A lot of people have this idea that because of their height, that reach advantage. Reach advantage is something you can conquer with one or two footsteps, the right head movement, the right angles, the right defense. Reach advantage works for a punch or two. Maybe if you can teach someone who's agile, shorter, and faster, they will
get inside.
They'll eat a Pearl Davis alive. Pearl doesn't have the things you need to have along with height to make you effective. She doesn't have. I think if you trained both of them, my money would be on Anna if you trained them both. Now, neither of them should be within a mile of a ring.
Well, actually, I was about to say I think we need to book this fight. Firstly, secondly, I was going to say my opinion is of the two of them, if you were to lay odds on which one of them has any sort of self-defense training for whatever reason, it would be on Anna, because I feel like a lot of cases, the smaller woman is going to feel more like, I need to learn how to protect and defend myself, where the big lanky chick is like, well, I'm 6'1", let's go.
And you can tell
like they'll rely on their height.
You can tell just by looking at them. Anna's probably been to the gym more, and chances are she may have taken a self-defense class in her life or two. But I just, and also mentally, the mental aspect of fighting someone is as important, if not more important, than the physical. You saw Pearl melt down and break down just by being confronted in a debate. Pearl's one of those people, that Mike Tyson line, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Pearl seems like someone who would really start to cower once physically confronted. She doesn't seem like she would handle it well. But my favorite part of this video, I just want to skip to it, is when she's being silent and you can hear her computer running. Like, it's so silent and she's so defeated by Anna Kasparian that you can hear her computer running. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
That whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yeah.
There, you can hear like the whooshing of her computer motor in the background. And to me, that's the hello, darkness, my old friend.
I don't know if Pearl's aware of this or not, but in most cases, I know with my setup, maybe I'm being too assumptuous. You click go live, like you can get ready beforehand before you hit the button. Have a plan of what you might say.
Have a plan.
Or
Yeah.
something.